Day 2 of the Ascend Tournament Series Legends Cup 2, sponsored by Team Silenced, is here. Our top 8 battle tonight in a single elimination bracket. Only one team will be able to call themselves Legends Cup champions. 909 won the last time. They are not here today, so we're here to crown another champion. Welcome to the sportiest stream, everyone. It's nice to see you all here tonight. Yes, this will be the stream. If you want to see Legends Cup to its full extent, you'll be here tonight for this matchup. All best of sevens, as I mentioned, 8 teams left. Maybe a packed schedule, but before we talk about day 2, we gotta talk about day 1, what we got to see there. Double elimination. 28 teams entered this tournament. Only 8 made it through. In fact, of those 8 teams, 4 through the upper bracket, being NIRV Technique, HunterX Team Not Found, HunterX 3AM, and Star Nation Blackout, being in as that 22nd seed, taking on the 19th seed in Incorrect White. And in the lower bracket, best of 3s to best of 5s. Evo Summit redeeming themselves in the upper bracket loss to HunterX Team Not Found. The Bubble Guppies are number 1 seed, losing to HunterX Team Got Found, which is the first time we've ever had a number 1 seed ever make it to our final bracket. And you see that the Stargazers taking out Incorrect White, our 23rd seed, also here in this main event. And then Life's a Game, with an incredible lower bracket run to find themselves here. And here exactly, our main event. As stated already, this is our top 8. These are the best teams we have in this tournament. It's single elimination from here on out. As you can see, we've got a ton of streams planned for you here tonight. 4 different streams are going to be live here. And if they're not live now, they will be live in just a few minutes. On this stream, we'll be covering HunterX 3AM taking on the Stargazers. AnthonyMalum, he'll be taking the semifinals. He'll also be joining us for the grand finals. He will have NIRV Technique and Evo Summit. The only team of Team Evo left in this tournament out of the 2 that signed up. Again, a stark contrast to 135 who have all 3 of their teams in this final bracket. Aiko Wesky, her first time streaming here. She was actually originally brought in for the Champions Cup, but couldn't make it there. This is her first time streaming a match for the Ascend Tournament Series. She'll be taking HunterX Team Not Found and HunterX Team Got Found in the quarterfinals. Of course, Cheesy Chas, who is a classic. He's been here all the time, it feels. Star Nation Blackout and Life's a Game. Insane matchups here tonight, but we're going to be looking at the highest seeded team in this final bracket, our 2nd seed, taking on our lowest seed, our 23rd seed, HunterX 3AM, who we got to see qualify yesterday in the upper bracket, taking on the Stargazers here tonight. The Stargazers coming in as a 23rd seed. We're one of the last teams to sign up for this event. Not get good seeding, obviously, but they proved themselves here. The players that you have seen before, Ionic has been here before in the Legends Cup. He's one of very few players in this tournament that have been here. That last Legends Cup being on FC Barcelona, another low seed team that made it to the top 8. Just like that last time, he's got to go up against the toughest team that's in this final bracket, at least by seeding HunterX 3AM. Last time it was against Twisted Fate. It was a team that was led by Kara, who obviously on the Bubble Guppies this time around couldn't get to that top 8. HunterX 3AM have though, and a very solid roster. We've mentioned so much about what Crypto can do. Crypto's abilities are something incredible on his side. It really is one of those players that you watch and you're just awed by what he can do, because even yesterday in the only series we got to see of them, still performed excellently. But obviously this Legends Cup going to be a very tough battle. Again, for Crypto, it's not the first time he's been in these tournaments, but I'm not wrong, I don't think he's been in the Legends Cup here. Oh no, it is. He was on actually the Lads last time out. Actually, he didn't even make it into the main event here in this tournament. His team losing to Team Evo actually right before that main event. So Crypto, this is his first time in the final bracket for Legends Cup tournament. And he was like Ionic, made it before, top 8, but again, losing to Twisted Fate. We actually got to see that on this stream as well. But joining him is another player that you would recognize if you've been on the stream for a while. She's been on the stream back on Team Ignition, and when she was known as Kama. Then later on Team Wappa, she also went by the name of Artel. Seen her on the stream before. Again, this is her first time actually in the Ascend Tournament Series, making a name for herself, joined by another recognizable player in the Women's Rocket League scene in Flux. And that's will definitely have a big impact, I think, on a lot of these players. Kind of being new into this one definitely doesn't have its benefits, but then these players, they're proving to us here. This tournament has been one of seeing new teams make it through. Team Not Found, though, also coming in. They won our Champions Cup. They're back for more action. Team Got Found, obviously. That's another fun team in here, full of a ton of NX35 players. Again, Jay and Hockey, who were on the lads in the last Legends Cup, again, couldn't make it to the main event. For this, again, the NX Team Got Found roster, with Kagura leading the way. He was on NX Ignite in the last Legends Cup. That team making it to the main event, but not able to get out of the quarterfinals as they lost to the runners-up in Team Silenced. And a lot of players here. Again, the players on the NXGIM know what it's like to be in the Legends Cup. They've been here for a while. Battle still is there. Again, NXG5 also have by far the most teams playing in this tournament. If all three other teams that are competing in this tournament made it to day 2, there's a guarantee that at least one of them, Team Not Found with Team Not Found versus Team Got Found, one of them is going to be out here. NXGIM don't want to be out themselves, so again, there's a guarantee we'll have 135 representation in the semifinals. We'll have to see if there is 1 or 2 teams that will be making it there. Prediction poll is up, though, so get your votes in 100x3am or the Stargazers. Again, all matches up tonight are best of 7. It's going to be a long night, but we've got all the action here. Quarterfinals, semifinals, grand finals, all on this stream. So you won't want to miss anything here, especially not when we crown our champion. The end of the night. But for now, we got our first match, 100x3am versus Stargazers. Stargazers again coming in as that low seed, but continuing the tradition, I guess, in the Legends Cup to have women's representation. Last Legends Cup, you would probably remember Dacry making it into the main event again on FC Barcelona. Of course, again, mentioning Ionic was her teammate at that point, and of course that team couldn't get through the quarterfinals, but it seems to be a Legends Cup tradition to have women's representation in the quarterfinals on the stream, I guess, as well, which is quite interesting. Dacry also competed in this tournament with B under 2 girls, 1 Kanan, but they aren't here in the main event. They lost the lower bracket. Of course, I had to mention Incorrect White. What was the org that picked up FC Barcelona? Also in this tournament with Waffles, so a ton of representation around this league. I keep mentioning how much representation there is from the women's scene in this tournament, which is surprising because we started on the same day when the Stride Women's Weekly event starts. So we got a ton of events happening here, and get to see, or we get to see, I guess, a lot more of that. Is check the ego. What are you saying? Oh, Flux is talking to Ionic. That's your teammate, Flux. That's a new one. That's alright then. Everybody's going after each other here. I love to see this here. We're not even started and already the Stargazers are having some infighting. I will also mention the only team in this tournament that's in the top 8 that doesn't have org representation. Coming into this event, we had a ton of teams without org representation in this event. So the fact that there's not that many left, I think, should prove to people that generally speaking, these teams under orgs know what they're doing. Even if, again, it is tough, because again, this Legends Cup had a record number of teams come in that didn't have org representation. In fact, I'm going to count how many. 7, 8. 11? It looks like it's 11 teams in total that came into this tournament. No, 12. 12 teams in total entered this tournament out of the 28. Didn't have an org representing them. Biggest doing and helping with hosting this tournament. Of course, Ionic. And Flux, thank you again. And thank you for competing. You guys have been amazing. Hopefully your run in the Legends Cup is a fun one. And we're just going to get things hopefully sorted out in just a moment. Get a prediction poll is live, so get your votes in. Who you think will take this one? Next 3am are the heavy favorites. Stargazers looking to play upset here. And to break records for women's players in this event. And also for Ionic. Ionic, again, trying to one-up himself from that last event. Only would they be able to... They wouldn't be able to break records on Orgla's teams. Again, 909 won the last event. Couldn't make it through day one. So, they could continue a tradition here of teams making it through. Without an org, which would be itself quite impressive. What also is going to be interesting about today is that there are now still tactical timeouts. Those are still in use. As again, we're going to get this in very, very soon here. These teams be checking in any moment now. Again, I'm just making sure that the chats are good to go here for our matches. And these players did get, oh! I actually made a mistake. I didn't actually do the correct team names. 1 second. Let me make sure I actually do that correctly. As I'm going to remake the lobby now. I knew I forgot something. I always forget something, don't I, when it comes to these events. 1 second. There we go. Lobbies remade. Same info if these teams are still here. I think they are. But hopefully that will fix it. Yeah, whoops. You all can make fun of me, by the way. I don't have a problem with that. And get your votes in. Again, it's our first of 3 matches tonight. We're going to be here for the whole night. Quarters, semis, grands, all here. We'll get to see everything here tonight. And in this series is next 3am taking on the Stargazers. Checking to make sure my ping's good. Yeah, my ping's good. So should be good to get going in just a minute or two as soon as these teams are ready to get going. Again, all matches are best of 7. Tactical timeouts are within play, but even then, all that matters is just getting those wins. The last of the unorged sides in the Stargazers here tonight, the 23rd seed, taking on the 2nd seed, 100x3am, one of 3 teams, 100x35 esports in the top 8, and the one that is considered the most likely to win it all on their side of the bracket, 100x3am. Oh, as we are waiting, actually, we have a short disconnect here. As again, we'll hopefully get things underway momentarily here. One best of 7 can set you straight on day 2. Doesn't matter if you come from the upper bracket or the lower bracket. All that matters is getting those wins. 100x3am on the blue, Stargazers on the orange. And a best of 7, our first of 3 tonight. One team will see themselves one step closer to the grand finals and to a part of that $100 prize pool. The other will see their run end here in the top 8. Hope these teams have done well to progress past day 1. It was a killer day for most teams out of our 28, 20 being eliminated. But on day 2, feels like the matches get a lot more nerve-wracking, a lot more nervous. And for the Stargazers themselves, this is a first for Izza and Flux. The first time in ATS, and their first time competing in the ATS Legends Cup, sponsored by Team Silenced. Bionic, though, he's got that experience, and even though I've mentioned a lot about Crypto's past, his knowledge of 100x3am, I know his knowledge back on the lads, he actually didn't play on that roster. He sat out as a substitute on day 1. Of course, that team not making it to the top 8 meant Crypto never actually had his chance to compete. Not competing tonight either. Stitch taking his place. He was an elite addition to this roster as the substitute, obviously. Next 3am trusting in Stitch to be able to fill in the gap that Crypto left over, which is quite a tough one. Next 3am are a roster that have a ton of very good players, and Crypto himself kind of embodies whatever team he's on. So it's so tough to get players who can kind of recreate the kind of magic he does on the field. But Stitch is one of those players I think that can do it. We've seen him before back on our X team, not found even with that roster, which was one that he had a tough time acclimating to. Still found successes. The double tap from Flux, not able to go in. The Stargazers, though, again, not only are they setting boundaries as an unorged side in this tournament, the only one to make it through, they're also setting boundaries as a low seed, the 23rd seed coming into this event, and they're doing well, but that's a great dribble, and it's Souls who will put it against them. Our X3AM kind of getting used to this series, and it's Souls who'll get him off to a good start. Catches Flux and Ionic jumping. And goal 1 will go to the Hunter X35 side. Again, as I mentioned, they're guaranteed to have one team in the semifinals, with team not found and team got found playing in the quarterfinals on Ico Wesky's stream. But for us, at least the Stargazers could keep it that way, but they could also potentially lose, giving Hunter X3AM. Now, to the end of it, take it 2, but Ionic, a great response. The Stargazers will not shut down. And it is Izza who will find that pass to Ionic. Gets the demo as well on Stitch. She goes straight at him. And ever since we've first seen Izza, she's been known to be that aggressive type player. That playstyle hasn't really changed since we have last seen her play. In fact, maybe the demo means that maybe she's gotten even more aggressive, which makes her a very fun player to watch at times. She also has some pretty solid mechanics, so I see her pull out a couple solo efforts along the way, although Hunter X3AM are one of those teams where trying to put a solo play against them is not a good idea. This team's got so many mechanical players, and it's much better to try to go for team efforts, catching this team on mistakes, because once they go for solo efforts, they find success. Souls to down to Stitch, and it's 2 for the Hunter X3AM. As it's a free one off the back wall, Izza and Flux both sitting on that goal line, nobody actually jumping for it. And when you sit flat-footed like that, you open up all sorts of possibilities for your opponents to counter. We see that right there. As Souls, oh, what a great pass out to Noki. Stitch looking in the midfield, not down their demo, and this one will be in. It's Noki, his first of the series, but for Hunter X3AM, it is 3 goals here in game 1. What was not their best start has turned itself around here. All the scoring we're seeing, all I need to do is make sure that that is consistent. As Souls, off the corner, Ionic, Stitch now. Flux not able to get the challenge, but Zil will be there to clear. Noki won't be able to go. He'll go for the back pass instead. In fact, that's going to find Souls, and that Souls-Noki connection we've mentioned about before. The fact that Crypto's not here means they've got to rely on each other a little bit more. We've seen them have issues with that in the past. Stargazers will be a good team to really prove here that they themselves can really lift Hunter X3AM to the name that it is looking for. Again, coming in as such a high seed. So many low seeds actually in this final bracket. They've proven their worth. A real chance we could be seeing some pretty incredible upsets here on day 2, but Stargazers want to make the biggest of them so far, but they have not been able to crack the code of 100 X3AM. And a mechanical roster that 100 X3AM brings is just, it's one that's so tough to counter, because so many teams want to bring the mechanics, want to be able to use those plays, make good things happen. But against 100 X3AM, you're probably not winning on that game front. And the Stargazers definitely won't be. They're going to have to rely a lot more on team plays, on the 50-50s, on passing. It comes down to mechanics. 100 X3AM have them beat. But again, that team chemistry of 100 X3AM, they have it, but it's always been in question whether or not they truly all do believe in each other. Because they can be beaten as Ionic, a drop down, 17 seconds to go. And the Stargazers have given themselves hope. 3-2, the Stargazers have brought one back. And on X3AM now, under a bit of threat here. As the Stargazers either go upfield, Ionic, Izza. That one will be sent back by Noki. Flux has got to keep it alive here as time ticks down to Zevo. The Stargazers, maybe one more chance here in game 1. And Ionic keeping it alive. Souls, Noki, Izza's kept it up. Flux off the corner. Izza still calling action. Now she'll go again. Flux will jump too, but beaten by a defender. And 100x 3 AM will take this game 1. The Stargazers kept it close. Ionic, again, his chemistry and his knowledge of the field will definitely be a helpful thing for him. What I started has been in only game 1. As we go into game 2 on XGIM, need to be a little bit more consistent. Consistency is going to be key here. You can do it once. Won't always make the difference. As these teams definitely battling it all out. As game number 2 about to begin. 100x 3 AM. Off to a good start, but again, they've got to do it over and over. It's a best of 7. It's a much longer match. Consistency really is going to win you this tournament, but they're already off to a great start here as Noki will make sure that goes in the back of the net. And already, they're putting themselves up by 1, making life a whole lot more difficult. Oh no, up. Only a few seconds in this game, and the Stargazers already put on the back foot, but had to be in the back foot all last game, so it's not an unfamiliar position for them. Even in the lower bracket, they had to go on the back foot. They lost early to Team Not Found. A very tough first round matchup. The fact that Stargazers have been able to regain since that to make it here is nothing short of incredible. Again, this team always knows what it's like to be down, but never be out. It's the team that always finds a way, but Hendrix DIM definitely the toughest challenge so far in this tournament. As Souls won't be able to reach that one, Ionic. Trying to go to the back wall. Izza will get the dunk on Noki. Now she'll back pass. Ionic. Next to go, but Souls will win the 50. Flux overcommits. Souls, flip reset. Great challenge from Izza, who will shut that play down quickly. And not let the offense control. As a bounce off the corner. A little awkward there in front as Souls, Izza, Noki will clear it back. And the Stargazers, only down by 1 at this point. Can't call it early here, and really can't call it ever. As the Flux, an answer, and oh, as soon as they say that, they do find a way. As Flux beats Noki, who just kind of stops dead in his tracks. He was completely fooled there. He did not think they had that one. And again, there's life here for the Stargazers. This team, again, really giving themselves a shot in this series, but they've got to do this, and they've got to keep scoring. They've got to be able to get upfield more often. They can play the defensive, but against the 100x3am, you're always going to be in a very disadvantageous position if you do play the defensive. That's why they're going 3-on-1. Ionic on the flick. Souls will keep it off the back wall. The Stargazers will retreat again, but not for long. Izza leading charge. Now up that side wall as well. Sets up Ionic. Sticks jump late. Oh, but it won't be in. It hit the crossbar. And the Stargazers will have to go back. Stitch. No boost in the tank. Izza now. Oh, gets dunked as Stitch jumps early. The Stargazers still have it. Next to AM looking a lot more nervous here. A lot more paced. Stargazers definitely keeping them up to speed, but they gotta get back to net here. Izza, and she's got a second touch too. That will make sure Souls won't be able to be on the end of it, and I love what the Stargazers are doing here. Getting a second touch, but Souls, oh, he gets the second touch there. Little fake as well from Souls, just completes that play, gets Ionic to jump high, and that's when he can slot this one in. That's the mechanics of 100x3am. It's on form. One goal back in the lead here for 100x3am, but they've had issues getting more than that many. Scoring at this, kind of pressure, never an easy thing to do, but it also shows you that this tournament is one that is breaking boundaries in terms of what can happen. Because upsets are likely, although that mistake from Izza isn't going to help her team in potentially making it. She had a full tank of boost as well. That first touch just... she was maybe not expecting Noki to actually challenge that, but when you make a first touch like that, you're inviting that challenge. She had Flux waiting in the corner. Decided not to go for it, but that will prove to be costly here. And the 100x3am team just continues their scoring. Now it's 4 goals here. It's completely changed the way the series has looked. As a complete turnaround here, it started off so close as well. Has not ended, not continued on that way. It doesn't seem like it will end that way either. And well, with how much goals we're seeing, Stargazers may want to reconsider their playstyle. Because, again, the offense of 100x3am is no joke. This team has so many good mechanics. You really need to shut them down based on that mechanical ability. A lot of it is, again, infiltrating Souls and Noki, forcing them to play back a little bit more. Because when they do, that's when that rotation of those two build up generally doesn't stick for long. As Stitch, trying to get that one, but he won't get the bump on Flux. Ionic, bounce off the corner. It's a little awkward for Souls, but he'll be there to take it. And 100x3am, again, just making sure they keep this lead as solid as it can be. The Stargazers have not really been able to say all that much in this game. Again, they started off so well. It seemed so promising at the start of this game, but it has quickly faded away. As that offense from 100x3am, again, continues to prove why they are at this point in this tournament. And a tournament, again, that has proven to not make any sense so far. And we've had our first seed and our third seed get out. We've had our fourth seed almost get out in the lower bracket. Feels like the only real consistency has been 100x3am. The second seed going through the upper bracket, getting it done quite well, but oh, it's going to be an answer from Stargazers. They'll get one back here. As I mentioned already, the only team in the top 8 that doesn't represent an organization. They're battling for their tournament lives. You can only see there from Ionic in the chat, calling for the tactical timeout. So that means as soon as this game is over, Stargazers are going to take that extra minute in between games. No surprises here. We've seen so many teams call those tactical timeouts after 2-game losses. Stargazers definitely will take it here. So many teams I see just call it so late and end up hurting themselves in the process. I will say for the Stargazers, this has not been the start that they've been looking for. This does feel like the right time to call for it. Again, that will move to give them time here. They'll have, again, 2 minutes after the full minute in between games. They'll have a second minute to work with. So again, this team, a lot of time to talk things out. And with how they have looked so far here, the Stargazers, it has been one where it just feels like they're getting outplayed here on the offense, specifically that pressure that Onyx 3AM have brought them. There's a reason this team, again, has come in and has definitely not slowed down. As again, we are, again, 2 games down here. Onyx 3AM, 2 games closer to making it to the semifinals. They are the favorites technically to win this event at this point, but you've seen again, consistency has not been all that easy to come by. Even for Onyx 3AM, they nearly had to play in the lower bracket. In the upper bracket, their win against Outback Steakhouse was one that went to Game 4. It was not an easy win for them. In fact, even earlier, they went to Game 5 against 909, so 909 potentially could have taken them down. 909 had a very tough run themselves. As we've seen already, these teams have proven a lot in this tournament, and we're going to see them continue to prove themselves as this event continues. As that minute has concluded, so again, I'm timing it right on my desk here to make sure that we are good to get things up and running. Let's get these teams back in the lobby here for game number 3. The Stargazers have used their tactical timeout for this quarterfinals matchup. Now they better prove it has its merit. Onyx 3AM had to wait that whole minute. That momentum of theirs has been shut down a little bit more here with that timeout usage, but will it slow this team down anymore? Onyx 3AM, again, are getting closer and closer, making it to the semifinals, and Stitch trying to get him off to a quick start there with that attempted triple tap. And instead, over the Stargazers going upfield, and really, true that timeout has worked for them to get that confidence going. This team will really want to score first, but no easy feat when Onyx 3AM have done what they have done already. So tough to get goals at all against this team. As they continue to prove, as that shot from Souls will have a follow-up from Stitch. And while the Stargazers won't be able to score first, 100x 3AM will make sure that one is done, as the initial shot stopped by Ionic, but he didn't get the clear. It's a follow-up from Stitch that is easy to make. 100x 3AM will score first here in Game 3. They're one step closer. That's semifinals. Souls. Noki. Up in the air. Stitch. That one blocked by Ionic. There's Noki now up for the dribble. Gets past 2. Now on the back wall. Second touch. Ionic's gotta be careful. Souls will jump in. And that challenge could have been a lot more dangerous. But next 2AM still play calm. Izza though. The dribble at 50. She got under Noki but not past Souls. And the other way. Counterattack. Flux to jump in early. And next 3AM. Stitch off the corner. Second, Ionic was initially looking to push out there, but got no such favoritism. As 100x 3AM, I have to play a little bit more on that backfield. Couple commits, but will allow them to get the clear. At least I thought it would be a clear. Izza's gonna go. That one's off the crossbar. Ionic now, dangerously in front of the goal, but 100x 3AM quick to get it out. The Stargazers right now picking up that pace. They've done it before. Can definitely be used to great effect. 100x 3AM are not all that fast of a roster. Even when they did have crypto, they were still quite slow. In fact, I think this version of their roster actually plays a lot faster. Still, they are having their issues here. On the side of the Stargazers, being able to really be able to understand, keep up with 100x 3AM. We'll keep the ball here, so a chance to go upfield. Ionic, though, will not make the most of it. As Izza will tank a boost, and as I said, she's got mechanics in tow, but instead she'll flick it out. Flux waiting in the midfield. Now she'll go off the corner, beaten there by that second touch on Noki. Stargazers will have to race back as Izza wins the 50-50 challenge, but Stitch will get around Flux. Now he's bumped out his own teammate here. Stitch going by himself. He will be demoed away. Now Noki, a great dunk from Flux. And that's going to keep the Stargazers upfield. In these challenges from the Stargazers, at times they feel kind of desperate, kind of reaching in that midfield. But again, this has been their best performance so far this series. Can they get upfield? Their offense has not seen very much action. Maybe this is a part for one. Noki, Ionic, Izza, just wide, awkward as souls, but no shot came. And now Flux has been beaten. Izza racing back, gets the block. Beautiful control from Izza. Noki was looking for the dunk, but Izza got the ball higher. And the Stargazers will keep this lead within one. As Noki flip reset. Izza will block it out, and now she'll look for a follow-up with Ionic. Flux, 50 on Souls, and Stargazers will have to take control again, but not easy to do so when you get them out off the field. The net's wide open, and Noki will score. Izza was waiting in the corner. But that little wait, that little hesitation will make the difference there. 100x3am removing her off the field, and they will make sure they go up by one more. You know, there's been already a ton of comparisons between Stargazers and Incorrect White that I've already made already. I didn't want to follow this next one in getting a 4-0 sweep loss. That's what happened to FC Barcelona in the last Legends Cup. Losing to our #1 overall seed. But in this event, it's a little different as, oh, what a redirect stitch! Oh my goodness! Counting up, it's 3-0! 100x3am are just looking incredible as that touch from Stitch, I don't know if you could have placed it much better. I mean, that is amazing power. Puts his team in a great position. As even with that tactical timeout used, Stargazers have not been able to turn this game around. Always seem to start off well, but as time goes by, 100x3am are just proving that they are the better team here tonight. Stargazers still can't get out, and here's another one. Souls now will be on the scoreboard as 100x3am, I believe that now makes all three players with at least one goal this game. And with 25 seconds to go, well, what we're getting to see here is a team take control as the Stargazers have not been able to challenge so easily. Ionic, 50 with Souls, it actually is going on target there, and he'll make sure it goes in, so that will stick in the back of the net here for the Stargazers. As Souls jumped early there in that 50-50, and that is a pop-up that it goes perfectly top left. And credit to the Stargazers, they have not given up hope in this series. For Ionic himself, even with that deja vu, I'm sure of remembering his last time on FC Barcelona losing by a sweep in the quarterfinals. He doesn't want that to happen again, but the result could be likely. The Stargazers are one game away from being eliminated from the Legends Cup 2, sponsored by Team Silenced. And for all that we've seen so far, the 100x3am, who have been the more dominant side, they are one game away from going to the semifinals. It would be a very quick start on this stream. The Stargazers, though, to prolong their lives in this tournament, they've got to be able to get upfield a lot more often, get more offense, get more chances on net. I just haven't seen all that much from them this series. It's been relatively simple, this series, for both these teams. We haven't seen anything crazy from these rosters, but what we are seeing is 100x3am, again, in full control right now. All they need to do is make sure that stays consistent. As one game away, Ionic could be a second straight Legends Cup tournament where he gets swept in the quarterfinals. He doesn't want that to happen. He's been in so many tournaments but he's made it well, but he's had issues with getting to the quarterfinals. The Champions Cup, when he was last on Incorrect White, he had issues getting the win there. Even before that, in What was the Apex Cup when he was on incorrect white? He had issues in the quarterfinals too, although they did win that match. They did lose in the semifinals though, so he's been in so many ATS events here, Ionic. He's just not been able to make it to the grand finals. It's always been just a little away from him, and this quarterfinals has always been so unkind. In fact, all the starting players that were on FC Barcelona did play in this tournament. Ionic, the only one to make it to this final event. Gio was on incorrect white, who, again, as we mentioned, lost to the Stargazers in the lower bracket. Other player in Dakri, again, we mentioned 2 goals, 1 Kanan, losing quite early in losers round 2. As Hunter X3AM, consistency will be key for them in getting their plays to work, but when they've shown that they have that consistency, can the Stargazers get something back? Maybe they've already off to a good start here with that demo, but Stitch is the one that gets it. Izza now to the sidewall. Trying to send this one upfield. Flux on the 50 win. The net's open for Flux. Can you put it in? Yes, she will. It's wide open. And the Stargazers, with their first lead of the series, if I can recount. Flux on the 50-50, and it just goes her way, but the Stargazers need every goal they can get at this point. It has been a tough run here in this tournament. Game 1 starting well here for the... Game 4 starting well here for the underdogs, but... Next 2am looking to respond quickly. Noki, flip reset over is a Stitch on the fake. Souls will slide it into the middle of the net. And 100x3am right back at the Stargazers. Throwing some change up with that fake from Stitch. Again, they seem to create chaos so easily. The Stargazers sit back so far. 100x3am have control over them in that aspect, and it's control that the Stargazers cannot let 100x3am have too often. But they will be on offense again, so a chance to try to retake that lead. Flux. So also not a good clear there. Noki's got to jump up as well, and he'll get over Ionic. Izza's not there, and it's 2-1. 100x3am catching Stargazers on the overcommit as Ionic really needed to get to that challenge. Just far too slow. Noki will beat him. 100x3am playing calm, playing consistent. At 50 though, going in the wrong direction. Noki getting past Izza. Noki again off the back wall. It will be sent wide by Flux. Souls again on it. He'll get that one around and a perfect slot in the top right corner. 100x3am have another one. And the scoring going over and over again. But this shot from Souls could not have been placed any better. Flux doesn't even attempt to save it. That's how good it was. She knows that one's in, and there's nothing the Stargazers can do to block it. A perfect slot from Souls, and 100x3am. Again, it may start off a bit close, but as time goes by, this team takes over by the end of this game. For the Stargazers and their run, it has been a tough one from start to finish. It will end that way as well. As they're looking to now make the comeback, but it'll be a comeback that is exceptionally unlikely. But still, they gotta look for it here. Their tournament life rests on it. Flux, no boost in the tank, but she'll just send this one upfield. They're back by Soul. Stitch, redirect, going on target. Ionic will wait. Stargazers again trying to challenge here, but it's Souls to get all 3 of them to commit. An infield pass from Noki, in for there. Oh, he's got the dug too. Noki lands on top of Ionic. And 100x3am at this point. All smiles on this roster. And I can't believe Noki got to that one. Really making sure he rubs it in. Ionic done dirty here in Game 4. As for Stargazer, there's been 4 straight goals against them. They may make it 5 soon. That one on target and in. Another one for Noki. He's got 3 goals this game. That's a hat trick. Just dribbles this one. He gets a little play under Izza. The fake will work out. And Ionic, he had boost, but not the best positioning. Won't be there in time to stop it. as the Stargazers in this game has gotten away from them very quickly. Can they answer back? Noki will not give them that one. In fact, he's now dribbling it past Ionic. Flux the last one back, but she's got no boost. Stitch has all the plays to look at, and he'll flick this one home. Another one for NIRV AM. It has just gotten worse. It's 6-1. And for the Stargazers, unfortunately, that's what happens when you go against the second seed. Not like they had much control over it as a double fake. Wait a second. No one wants to go for this at this point. NIRV AM and Stargazers both having the same ideas there. Stargazers will succeed. Save. Follow up in. Flux will put one back. And the Stargazers, at least, are not going to leave this game without a few more goals. That double fake kickoff, just the Stargazers were there ready for it. They committed a little higher for it. Little extra advantage is going to give them that goal back. So again, I think it's too late. It doesn't matter, at least for the Stargazers, in terms of just walking away with at least one goal. NIRV AM again have came in and they have taken this quarterfinals by storm. Stargazers have just not been able to answer back as another one in. It's Stitch to make it 7-2. And the goal scoring just continues. 100x 3am. I mean, what else can you say except this? This is an incredible result. And our quarterfinals night, our first of 3 best-of-7s. It's going to be a quick one here. I don't see any world where NIRV AM drops this lead. It'll be a 4-0 sweep. And reminiscent of that last Legends Cup we had on this stream. Coming off of the 4-0 sweep with our highest seed playing our lowest seed. Unfortunately here, there's a reason why the Stargazers are the low seed and NIRV AM are the high seed. NIRV AM are a solid roster. For the Stargazers, though, again, they've made it to the top 8, a pretty impressive result for a 23rd seed in any tournament. But their run will end here to the NIRV AM side. NIRV 35, again, have already guaranteed a team in that semifinals. They'll guarantee 2 teams in the semifinals. Yeah, this organization, only 3 teams this event. Smaller than they actually had in the last Legends Cup, and yet better representation later in this tournament. As they just continue to look solid. Souls, the lead charge, looking for one more from Stitch. He'll be blocked away. The final 7 seconds come down, only a formality at this point. 100x 3am are going to the semifinals. A 4-0 sweep past the Stargazers. And it really was just that. They'll eliminate the Stargazers from the tournament. 100x 3am, NIRV 35 Esports, guaranteeing some pretty solid teams coming into this final stage of the tournament. And can only say that for 100x 3am coming in, they definitely are making sure that they are getting this match done quickly. And again, it's going to be a pretty long day as well. These teams, at least, I can't blame them. Especially the teams that are expected to do quite well. It's, again, it's one of those days where, for teams, especially these high-seeded teams that are expected to go far, like 100x 3am, need to get those wins, they need to get them early, they need to also make sure they give themselves a good amount of downtime, able to reset, prepare for that next matchup, and, well, a 4-0 sweep is the best way to do it. Knocking Ionic again out of the quarterfinals, who unfortunately just cannot seem to get wins when they matter most. Tough result, at the very least, but we've got our match confirmed here. NIRV 3am going to the semifinals to play the winner of Star Nation and Life's a Game. That match on Cheesy Chass's stream, CHEESY_CHASS. Want to see other parts of the bracket? AnthonyMalum, ANTHONY MUALUM with NIRV Technique Evo Summit. And the only team with Team Evo and NIRV left in this tournament. Of course, on NIRV 35 Gauntlet with Aiko Wesky, AIKOWUSKY. G's got Team Not Found and Team Got Found on her stream. Great action tonight, but and that's our quarterfinals here. We're gonna 100x 3am guaranteeing that they'll be seeing that they'll be seeing themselves further on in this bracket and guaranteeing a spot in that semi-finals. But of course, again, they'll have to wait a little bit for their upcoming matchup. They'll have a ton of time to talk things out to kind of get their mentality sorted. When we come back, the semi-finals of the ATS Legends Cup 2, sponsored by Team Silence, the $100 tournament. We will see you. We will be back very, very soon. Shout out to Cheesy Chess for the raid. Thank you so much for joining in. Cheesy Chess, one of our ATS commentators for tonight. Hopefully your match was well, Cheesy Chess. Thank you so much. And thank you for the cheer as well. Thank you so much for joining in. Hopefully your match was good, my friend. We'll be live with the semifinals very, very soon, as soon as all of our matches are confirmed. Welcome back to the Ascend Tournament Series Legends Cup 2, sponsored by Team Silence. We had a very quick quarterfinals matchup there. 100x3 AM sweeping the Stargazers out of contention. On the other side, we just got our reports around the league. Two of our other matches and have concluded. 100x3 AM obviously winning. Life's a Game, who will be their opponent, beating Star Nation Blackout, our other low seed, 4-1. We also had NIRV Technique sweeping Evo Summit, so the number 1 seed in this. Technically the number 1 seed, but they're actually one of the higher seeds, so I think the number 9 seed coming in this event, but one of the favorites to win this thing. Sweeping. Just got reports. 100x Team Not Found just beat 100x Team Got Found 4-1, so that will be that matchup in the semifinals. 100x Team Not Found moving on as our semifinals today. Very, very quick. But that's just how things have worked out tonight. You move on to the semifinals here as 3 AM taking on Life's a Game. And again, what is the best of 7? Life's a Game. We've seen them. They've known as Blag Gaming, with Big Wade leading this team, along with Sheep and Bezio. We've seen Bezio on the stream a couple times before. Blag Gaming coming into this event as the 17th seed. Their run was anything but easy for Lag Gaming, having to go through the lower bracket to get here. In fact, they had to get a pretty good run after that lower bracket, losing in the upper bracket to the Bubble Guppies. In fact, they're the only team from the lower bracket to make it through, obviously beating Star Nation Blackout to get to this point. Again, a low seed in this tournament. Fortunately for Star Nation, obviously not able to get the win here when it matters so much, but Lag Gaming, they'll be at a very happy position because now they get to take on 100x3 AM, and this is going to be a bit of a tougher matchup. Big Wade specifically, a pretty scary player. I haven't seen him on the stream in a very long time, but himself is known as a very solid opponent. Of course, we'll get these teams in hopefully in any moment here for this matchup in just about 5 minutes from now. I gotta make sure I can actually get my lock up for this matchup. Again, it's a best of 7, as I mentioned, all matches best of 7. That also means tactical timeouts are back in play again. All tactical timeouts reset after every single series. Well, 100x3 AM didn't obviously have to use theirs. I don't know if Lag Gaming did for them. They probably didn't. With them winning 4-1, that's a pretty solid win. Again, all of our quarterfinals matches ending very quickly here. I think we can actually get to our semifinals with some pretty good pacing. Of course, you'll obviously also see on the stream, if we take a look at our schedule, the grand finals will be here, and AnthonyMalum will be joining us for that. But so far, again, we go to the semifinals for another best of 7. Our first one was rather quick. What will our second one have in store for us? Next 3 I'm looking to continue their incredible run. We'll see if Crypto does play tonight, or actually if Stitch is going to be sticking with them for the whole event. Looks like he will be, because again, Souls, Noki, and Stitch again back in here, so to make things interesting for our next 3 AM without Crypto. But if the first series is anything, they're looking just fine. Again, that also means that whoever wins this also guaranteed a part of that prize pool. Again, $100 up for grabs, 70 to first, 30 to second. A pretty good sized prize pool for all of these teams. It's gonna 100x3 AM versus Life's a Game. Votes on who you think will take this one. Obviously, we saw 100x3 AM win earlier today. Literally just an hour ago. Life's a Game, though, a much tougher opponent. So again, expected to fall here. Still, though, I mean, we know this team's going to put up a great fight. The only team from the lower bracket that's actually stuck through the quarterfinals, which, yeah, makes sense. Generally speaking, lower bracket teams don't generally win in the quarterfinals matchups. In fact, in the last Legends Cup, no team from the lower bracket was able to win their match in the quarterfinals. So the fact that we have one here is actually a new thing for the Legends Cup. Again, taking down Star Nation Blackout. Again, the other match on the other side will be NIRV Technique taking on 100x Team Not Found. So, again, that will be on AnthonyMalum stream. AnthonyMalum. Again, he'll be joining us here for the grand finals to crown our champion in our night here. A quick start. Hopefully we'll see some of these matches get a little bit longer. Generally, as these tournaments go on, these matches can get pretty long. Actually, I am again in the lobby. Wait on Life's a Game to went on in as well. On the other side, NIRV Technique, taking on 100X team, not found. Technique looking really solid. It feels like we have a collision course between 100X 3am and NIRV Technique in the grand finals. So many people talked about these teams being those favorites. Again, a great day so far. Again, I gotta say thank you to our casters who are here for the quarterfinals, in Aiko Wesky and in Cheesy Chas. Again, shoutouts to them. Great people. Chas has been here a while. Aiko, her first time being able to actually take a match for ATS. It's, again, shoutouts to both of them for being here for this event. Again, that's hopefully we'll get these teams in any moment here as we're going straight to the semifinals. Nice again, I think they're waiting for that match start time, which you can't blame them on that. Definitely an understandable position to be in when, again, the pressure is on them to have to play upset potential. Again, they are now, I think, now the new lowest seed in this tournament, the 17th seed. Again, at this point. You notice how they're back in the 5th and the 9th. Again, this tournament has been anything but consistent when it comes to our top seeds. So, back to, again, actually, I am looking so good. Look to continue that, but as we've said, upsets can happen. We've seen so many of them. When 909 won the tournament, they were not one of the high seeds. Sorry, they were one of the high seeds. They were the 3rd seed, but... And we've, again, Team Silenced joined there with them, and Team Silenced was the 6th seed. We thought that was pretty incredible. This event guaranteed to have some interesting seeds in that bracket. We could potentially, again, have a 17th seed make it if Life's a Game do well here again. Particularly the Life's a Game organization, Lag Gaming, as they're known. Again, we've seen them on the stream before, obviously, though, under a very different roster. But Big Wade joining back again. As again, just waiting on these teams to join. As soon as they're here, we'll be good to go. What will be our second match tonight, our semi-finals. Again, Life's the Game. And in Big Wade, Sheep, and Bezio for our best of 7 here. So again, all of you joining in to the semi-finals. Here are the ATS Legends Cup 2, sponsored by Team Silence. Shoutouts to Team Silence for being here. As they always say, good morning, Aiko, I guess. Thank you for this. Thank you for the tier 1 sub, by the way. And again, shoutouts to you. Thank you so much for casting for this event. Again, I got to see a good amount of stream since my match ended early. I got to see everybody stream for a little bit. So again, thank you all so much for being an amazing personality here to have on our ATS caster team. As we'll go into our semi-finals here. Here we go, our best of 7 continues. 100X 3am taking on Life's a Game, the 2nd seed, looking to continue their incredible night. They took down the Stargazers in a sweep. Life's a Game, though, will prove to be a much tougher battle. At this point in this tournament, 2 teams from 135 remain. Team not found on the other side. Playing against NIRV Technique. Another team that's expected to make it pretty far, so the matchups here are going to be relatively interesting to watch. What we'll see here proves itself as 100X again on the blue. Life's a Game on the orange. Again, Stargazers is a... Oh, it's... There's Dacry. I don't know what she's inviting me for. I am live, my friend. My goodness. Dacry sending me a party invite at a terrible time here. 100X though will look to try to get on offense early. Sheep will get the block off the back wall. And a lot of what we saw last game from 100X was them just keeping it calm. They can't really do that anymore. Life's a Game's still a solid opponent. 100X will have to bring a lot against them. They are to really compete up there. As Souls, gonna get that flip reset. Doesn't work, but Ezio doesn't read it. Now Sheep. Oh, great touch on the midfield. Big Wade can't get that one as Souls will be there to intercept. Under X3AM. We're getting rocked on that defensive line with a couple bumps again. Life's a game much more aggressive as well than Stargazers. The Stargazers a lot of times used Izza to be that aggression. Life's a game though. You're gonna see a lot of all of these players pushing up field. Big Wade definitely doing that. Bezio's definitely not against playing that aggressive playstyle. It'd be a much more different team they're playing. It's not nearly as defensive as the Stargazers, I would say. A lot of it's going to be placed on how they play those challenges. Do they play it smartly? Actually, are still just that formidable. With the players they have on the field, Life's a game. Again, they're going to have to rely on themselves, making smart decisions. We've seen teams play that kind of way as now a bad challenge. Sheep, that's in! He's going to find it under the crossbar, and Life's a game will get goal 1. 100x 3 AM. Maybe lull into a false sense of security there with that 50 off the corner. And it's just going to go straight in. Sheep will make sure it does. Scoring, at least for now, favoring Lag Gaming. But still a lot more of this match to go for. As Noki the answer. And that will cut things back. Again, we've seen all these demos come out here, but I actually have been relatively against going for demos. And we're going to see a lot of them. We have to deal with that, because again, Light Gaming not afraid of playing that kind of aggression. We're going to see a lot of it from Life's a Game. As Bezio. Stitch. The sidewall. Good touch in the midfield, but Sheep will clear. Now Souls. Off that sidewall. Jumping already as Noki on X3AM. We're in the air, but Big Wade will get the block on Souls' shot. And now there's space to work with. Sheep, the dribble, trying to get the bump on Stitch. Bezio couldn't get the shot on. A great chance there as X3AM have cut by themselves back. And it's Big Wade to put it in. The team captain stepping up when he needs to. As off the back wall, he'll get the shot. And Life's a Game will make sure this game, at least for them, starts in their favor. Life's a Game. Again, a much tougher opponent here. 100x3AM, they still, again, relatively slow, trying to keep themselves calm, but they can't be calm here when Life's a Game are getting these passes in front. That one will be directed wide here as Noki 50 on Big Wade. Ezio. Gonna pop up there. He's gonna get bumped though. It's in for the line. Souls, the 50. Oh, he's kept it out. Life's a Game have not been against going for that. Stitch has been relatively passive here. And that's starting to cost them a lot because Life's a Game have no issue playing that kind of aggression. The Stargazers may not have wanted to, but Life's a Game will, but they've got to be careful of themselves. As a bounce off the back wall will go against them. The dunk there. A little bounce. Bezio can't read it, and that sets up Stitch to tie this one up again. Our semifinals starting off here as Life's a Game. Under a good amount of pressure, Stitch. Will be Big Wade on the dribble out here as that one 50'd with Sheep. Stitch again. Big Wade. Oh, challenge there by Noki. As Souls there, stopped by Bezio. Noki going for nets. Big Wade will block. Sheep trying to clear, but 100x3AM holding the midfield strong. And a lot of what they're doing to do is relying on that midfield. There's a great jump. Stitch beats Big Wade. Big Wade on that backfield had 14 boost. Less than Stitch. Stitch got up a little bit higher, a little bit faster. That's 100x3AM turning this game around in their favor. As it is Life's a Game who going to have a good amount of pressure against them at this point as Noki. but reset. Stopped by Sheep as Stitch on the challenge. Now Big Wade. Great first touch, but Souls won't let him have any more space. Stitch will go ahead. Next 3AM. Keeping the play going. Here comes Sheep to clear it out. Souls to the back wall. Big Wade always missed this one. Stitch, drop down on the bar. Saves off the line. Noki! It's 4-2 on our next 3AM. Slow, methodical, but efficient. You may have had some doubts of this team after their win over the Stargazers. You can't doubt their quality anymore. They're taking things slowly here against Life's a Game, but slowly but surely they're making it work. As Souls. Noki, oh, he's got past one there. BZO sitting on the goal line. Noki. Souls waiting on it. This will bounce off the ceiling. BZO will drop it to the ground though. No chances for Lag Gaming to get another. That's Hunter X2AM. We will start the series off in with a game win. Again, now a step closer to that grand finals and to a piece of that prize pool. Actually, give me a moment. I'm actually gonna see if I can set the Lag Gaming logo to be the white, so that you guys can see it a little better. It's a dark. It's black right now, which is not an easy color for my overlay. So give me a moment there to see if I can set it. Again, I'm going to see if I can set the Lag Gaming logo to be the other color. They have two versions. They have a white version as well. I can get the other logo here. Well, for now I won't be able to, but we'll go into game 2. I'm gonna see if I can fix this as quick as I can. As the series continues onward, 100x3am taking game 1. But for Life's a Game, their battle this battle's only just started. They've got a whole lot more series to go and a whole lot more series to see if they can answer back. As you've seen from 100x3am, this team, this is a consistent play style for them. They're going to take things slow. They're going to take things methodical. They're going to find ways to beat you. Life's a Game may have issues keeping up. As Noki, got a great first shot there, but it will go a little high. Still, Life's a Game have to challenge it. Actually, yeah, that's going to allow them to keep that midfield, and this is what all they're focused on is keeping that midfield, because if they keep the midfield, they're going to get offense, they're going to get chances, and Life's a Game is going to falter at some point. As Souls now to the back wall. A little awkward for Big Wade on a whiff from BZO. And in comes Noki, barreling through. Another one given up by Life's a Game as 100x3am. Making sure they stay firmly in the lead. And for Life's a Game at least. And this has not been the start that they've been looking for. And a lot of teams are trying to play at that pace that 100x3am sets. That's the scary thing. Their pace is not the real difficult part. It forces teams to play mechanical, and that's where 100x3am succeed, is in those mechanics. As now another chance in front. Noki will be saved away by Sheep. As now, speaking of Sheep, good first touch. He'll get under Souls, though. This Big Wade cutting through and trying to put some life into this Life's a Game side. That game 1 felt quite dead for them. Now in game 2, they're not off to a good start, but they need to get some confidence in their system if they're going to be able to take this victory. Right now, though, 100x3am a little bit better, but only by a little bit. One goal separates these two here on Forbidden Temple. Don't generally see sweeps this far in the tournament, and I don't think we're going to be seeing one here between these two sides. I could be mistaken, but what we've seen already, Life's a Game playing well 200x3am. I feel like this is a team that can definitely take a couple games off the other. But 100x3am continue to shut this play down. Sheep, though, great fake under one, but that's why you have Noki behind. Now he'll set up Souls, but there needed to be a shot on the end of that one. 100x3am in the midfield is Noki. Downward, Big Wade will be the block. And Life's a Game. Again, have to go to defense there. As the midfield still not winning it for them, as now an open net, Noki. And again, it just feels like these plays open up for 100x3am, and it's not because Life's a Game is giving it to them. Although that play from Bizio wasn't all that great. You see the bump from Noki, you see the pressure from Stitch. That's what's going to allow 100x3am to walk into these nets and get whatever they want. Again, they just continue. They're scoring Rampage, and now they'll get another one. Souls! Oh no, he hit the crossbar. Well, that third goal for 100x3am will be put on pause for now. As that one, I don't know if missing that would be a favorable thing for 100x3am, because they get scored on back. This could be a huge turnaround push. Life's a Game. They could score next, really stick it in the faces of 100x3am, that those kind of mistakes will be noticed. But right now, Life's a Game just cannot seem to break out so easily. There's another chance. Oh, this one whiffed on. Nobody from Life's a Game's all that confident on it, and Noki will put this one in. He missed an earlier chance, but 100x3am won't miss that one. And it's Noki again who's got all these goals going in for himself. 3 this time around. He has been a goal-scoring machine for 100x3am. And Life's a Game just have faltered over and over again, have not been able to really slow this team down from their quarterfinals victory. Maybe Life's a Game can put one in here. This one for Sheep. Oh, he's hit the post there. Bizio will keep it alive here for Life's a Game, but he'll be beat by Noki. Stitch, open goal. Oh, he's whiffed on it completely, though. Still, it's going to set up Souls. He'll go to the sidewall. Smart play there, just wasting out time, but I'll have to go again. He's not made contact. Sheep will go upfield, but shut down as Noki will be there to respond. And a 100x3am. Again, just looking so calm at this point. As if this is like a average Friday for them. This is a championship for a $100 tournament. And I don't see any nerves from 100x3am. As they just continue to look so incredible. As Sheep, oh, he's done it though. Back the other way, and I didn't see if there was an opening there for him, but obviously there was. Bizio had already gone for bumps. Big Wade went upfield as well. Everybody went up for Life's a Game, but we'll be fortunate there with that bump on Souls. It will be favorable and give them one back. Life's a Game, definitely still with some kick in them in this series, but still this game too has gotten away from them early on and has continued to stay that way for this game as 30 seconds remain. Noki trying to set up Stitch, but Stitch will instead play back on defense. Dunked by Bizio. When Stitch jumped up early there, he thought Big Wade would go early on that shot, but Big Wade never had the chance as he was taken away by Noki. 100x3am covering all bases, wasting out time, but that's not a good clear. Sheep, what a block. Souls will prevent that from going in. And game 2 will be for 100x3am, the 100x35 side, continuing to close in on the grand finals. And for Life's a Game, you start to consider that tactical timeout may need to be necessary. They haven't called it. Looks like instead they're going to try to save it at least a little bit. Maybe they see something that I didn't. Again, battle is on for both these sides. It is going to be difficult to say the least as... Again, these teams going for some card changes as well, so no surprise here to see that, again, that they have not been feeling comfortable in this series in any way. As let me see if I can update the logo now. don't know if I can. Here, let me see if I can just update it a different way. I guess maybe not. Maybe we won't be able to. I guess I'll have to stay that way. Whatever. Life's a Game still having some issues here. They didn't call the tactical timeout, though. Going into Game 3, so we're going straight into this game. Continuing on with the series, and 100x3am, well, they've set themselves up for perfect success. They have looked unstoppable so far tonight. But Life's a Game. Do they have anything left to say? Anything to try to shut down this 100x3am side? Any playstyle changes? Any ideas? Because 100x3am, they are beatable. Very tough to stop this team, especially since they really have come into this tournament and have continued to look good. And tonight specifically, they have looked good in these matches. As maybe a shot back, Souls on no boost, but it'll take a little more than that to take down 100x3am as a team bump from Life's a Game. Big Wade, full tank, but taken to the corner, and well, whiff there from Stitch though, and it's going to give Sheep and Bizio offense here for Life's a Game, but not for long. Big Wade having to move back. Noki covering the ceiling. Now he'll challenge, but he's gone low. Big Wade, one-on-one with Souls, has Bizio in the midfield, and Sheep behind, but didn't find either of them on that one. Life's a Game will have to try again. Souls. Noki. Oh, what a pinch off the corner. Big Wade's missed it, and it's Souls. 100x3am. We'll say thank you very much. The whiff comes into play as Big Wade can't reach it in time. And it's Souls to put it in right in front of the net. 100x3am. A confident performance here. As Stitch. Oh, what a dribble. The 50 on, but not in as Big Wade will stop. Now Noki setting up Souls for number 2. We've mentioned so much about Noki scoring. Souls has been there right with them. You really can't mention one without the other. These two have been teammates in the past before. They're still teammates now, and for very good reason. 100x3am. Putting on a clinic right now here against Life's a Game. Fortunately for Life's a Game, it's just been one where they have been the ones to get pushed aside and made an example of. As you mentioned, coming in this match, 100x3am are coming in as the favorites in this side of the bracket, and they're proving it as such, but that's a big mistake. One back for Life's a Game as a odd defensive mistouch. Noki and Souls are back. They didn't have a ton of boost, but actually Noki had a full tank. I don't know how he didn't reach that one. Maybe it looked too easy for him. But whatever the mistake is, we'll give Life's a Game hope here in Game 3 to come back in this series. Bizio. Stitch off the corner. Big Way. The stopped initially by Noki, but Stitch all alone here will have to get the clear. And he does. Sheep's touch cannot get very far in that midfield, and Life's a Game eventually running out of resources here. They'll have to concede to Souls, and he's going to go for net actually. Souls has beat them both. Oh, what a smart play from Souls. And it's another one for X3am, and now they've got their third. Souls with 3 goals on 3 shots. That one, probably his best so far. Just so smart to know that that net is there for him. $100x3am. Again, showing us that, at least on this side of the bracket, this is theirs to take. Again, as I said, an NIRV technique, and 100x3am in a collision course to meet each other. Life's a Game, the 100x team not round, trying to spoil that, but at least on this side here, Life's a Game have not been able to stop 100x3am yet, as Noki up into the ceiling. Oh, they're trying to get a pinch with a teammate there, but maybe a little too ambitious there, as now Stitch. Not a great first challenge. Sheep will go for goal, but Souls will be back for it. 100x3am. A little bit of speed used to make sure that Life's a Game can't keep the offense. Now Stitch to make it 4. Deal will be waiting for it, but this follow-up chance not as easy to deal with. Life's a Game will get more space. Sheep sent back by Stitch's Big Wade waiting. It's felt like he's been the one who's trying to rally his team together, but they just haven't gotten anything to go. As Stitch now, he'll get his first. And 100x3am shutting down Life's a Game here in Game 3 on DFH Stadium. And for Life's a Game, again, they have that tactical timeout. They did not use it. Might be regretting that choice now. Maybe they don't want to use it. Often we've seen teams come into these events not use those tactical timeouts. The whiff there. Noki on. Noki will put it in. And again, 100x3am. This looks so easy as Bizio has a whiff there. And again, 100x3am, they've been so good at shooting. Noki and Souls have, again, stepped up heavily. And did Summit make the other semis? No, they got swept by NIRV. I'm sorry to say that, Break. They got swept by NIRV Technique. As the next 2am again looking to make this on their second straight sweep of the night. In the first day of the event, they dropped 3 games only on that upper bracket in their 2 matches. In their first against 909, their second against Outback Steakhouse. They have dropped 0 so far today against what is arguably much stronger competition. As Stitch, good assist up for Noki, but Life's a Game just trying to get upfield. In 135 3am, one of 235 teams playing in the semifinals, the other being team not found on the other side of the bracket. And they're trying to upset NIRV Technique. A win that is not expected for them, but I don't have a result on what's happening over there just yet, but I would assume it's probably doing pretty well. It's on AnthonyMalum stream. As 100x3am leading by only 3 goals here, 46 seconds to go. Again, thank you for the cheer there, Chas. Thank you so much. But again, thank you, Chas, for the support. Hopefully, again, your night went well. Again, shout outs to Chas and Aiko Wesky, our 2 casters that casts the other matches in the quarterfinals. Obviously, though, 100x3am trying to get the job done here against Life's a Game, and well, they're going to be on quadruple match point. They were here against the Stargazers and swept the series. Might do it all over again here against Life's a Game. The Lag Gaming Org, who again has not been on the stream in at least a year, I would have to assume. Well, their tournament has gotten a whole lot tougher. 100x3am threatening their removal, as they're now 1 game away from the grand finals. As again, 100x3am just looking so confident right now, and really, again, so calm. They don't look like they're really under any pressure. In fact, actually, I actually don't know how long it has been since I've last casted Big Wade in this tournament. In a good while, I would have to say. But again, we're going into game number 4. In fact, actually, let's see. The last time we cast them was when they played against the Goon Squad in the Finality League back in October of 2023. So that's how long it's been since I've last seen these guys. It has been a very long time. And unfortunately, their return to the stream may not be a very positive one. Still, they're not out, but their tournament run is at risk of ending here. 100x 3am, 100x35 Esports is premier team in this tournament, marching through every single opponent. Now they're 1 game away from the grand finals, from going 8 wins straight tonight. It has been confident from 100x3am. All they need to do is make sure they continue that. As here we go, game 4, 100x3am. 1 win away from their 2nd straight sweep, and already off to a good start is Noki. 6 seconds in. And that is gonna make things a whole lot easier. But that's only one. Our next 3 a.m. has a lot to do here. And for Life's a Game, they're going to be battling because their tournament lives are now on the line. Stitch trying to make it to BZO. Tough read off the back wall, but the longtime ATS veteran still to make sure that gets done. He's been on, probably most recognizably on the Empanadas roster, which has been in a couple of high-level tournaments. Says, oh, Sheep, how on earth did he miss that one? BZO's shot won't go in as Noki didn't even challenge there. Sheep had a full open net to look at. It feels like even the game wants Life's a Game to lose. But at least that should give them confidence that their run still has a whole lot left in it. As long as they play their way as Sheep. As I am getting a call here from Break in Chat telling me NIRV's technique is about to go up 3-1 against 100X Team Not Found. Again, NIRV technique, the favorites in their match. As I said, 100X AM, NIRV technique, we're on a collision course to meet each other since the end of the qualifiers yesterday. Feels like fate wants these two to meet each other. Again, those series are not over just yet. Actually, I'm still need to get the win here as flip reset! Noki sets it up, drops it down. The little flip reset gives so much power, it's so tough to read for Big Wade. And the little flip at the end, just to secure it. $100X3M. That's how the night has been so far. It's been nothing but confidence. And Life's a Game have not been able to stop them. But here's a bump in front. Big Wade. A big time score. Cheap. The bump on Noki. And that leaves the upper portion of the net open for Big Wade. And that's all he needs to look at. Life's a Game. Not afraid to keep it close. As we've seen already, one goal. Obviously not going to cut it here. Not going to cut it ever against 100X AM as Noki flip reset. Stopped by Big Wade, but Stitch under the bar. And insurance lead back for 100X AM, keeping themselves 2 steps ahead. And the flip reset from Noki really puts himself in a perfect position. He forces Big Wade to challenge. And with no one else back, it's Stitch with the net all to himself. As now Life's a Game, trying to find another one. This game has woken up pretty quickly. Noki, Soul, Stitch behind, and that one is at 4. It is. Life's a Game caught all out of whack. Nobody was in the right position as Sheep. Double committed with BZO, and unfortunately for Big Wade, he's off getting boost. 100X AM. Just like they did against the Stargazers, turning up the jets, turning up the ferocity. We'll go for 5. Noki setting up Stitch, but that shot needed to be better. Still, Souls bumped away. Big Wade, 60 boost, has the dribble, but he's lost the handle of it quickly. Souls with Noki, BZO, trying to set up Life's a Game for any potential comeback. Maybe this will do it, but Stitch again stopping Big Wade short. Sheep trying to find something, but it's Stitch here. And coming in as that substitute. It was a late addition. Placing Crypto, who would not be available today. Obviously, he's really making sure that he proves himself. In fact, Stitch originally signed up under a whole different roster, 100X Loonies, a team that never truly was ready for this tournament. And, well, he stepped into 100X 3AM and he stepped up in 100X 3AM, but he's less Noki and Souls play the offense, and it starts with that demo from Souls, Noki with a little dribble to get around BZO. And Life's a Game has been dismantled over and over again here. As again, for Stitch, really, again, eventually starting on 100X Loonies. A whole different roster. And now moving into 100X 3AM as that sub. But proving himself here. I mentioned before, he's been one of the most, before in the past, he's probably the most improved player for 100X 3AM in the past. For 100X 35 in the past. And continue to prove that, show that improvement here as he fits into 100x3am's playstyle. Being a relatively mechanical player himself, well, he's willing to take a more defensive position, a lot more 50 based, a lot more control based, letting Noki and Souls be the scary duo on offense. And those two players have never really been able to show that kind of chemistry. When you have Crypto on a roster, it's so tough to be able to play that kind of offense because Crypto himself loves to play upfield. Now that the Stitch is behind them, now they have a player who's willing to sit back, let Noki and Souls take up front. You're seeing that these two themselves really do embody a lot about 100x3am. It's not just the Crypto show, as so many people have called it. These two themselves can lead a roster to success. As we head into that, as we're now well into that final minute, Life's a Game just looking for something, but 100x3am continually proving to just be all that much scarier as another one. That one actually just kept away off the line. Noki now. Big weight, it's Stitch. Oh, he's hit it high of the net. Noki now bumped into the shot. But no one from 100x3am will challenge that one. And instead, they'll wait back. Let the time tick away further. Stitch looking for one more goal, but Sheep will keep it out. Musty flick to safety, but for Life's a Game, it's a sweep. Loss at the hands of 100x3am. Untouchable has been 100x3am tonight. And they'll continue to be that way here as they eliminate Life's a Game from the Legends Cup 2. The second seed with another sweep here on this stream. Life's a Game never stood a chance, it feels. And that will send them to the grand finals, guaranteed. A part of that $100 prize pool now, but now they're looking to win the whole thing. They're one series away from doing so. There's 2 straight sweeps tonight. It has been a very quick run so far. Grand Finals awaits 100x3am. The other side, NIRV Technique playing 100x Team Not Found, and Technique expected to take that series. Currently in, I think, Game 6, so that match proving to be a little bit tougher for NIRV than what they initially expected. But again, for 100x3am, take a look at the bracket again. They've moved on. As, oh dear, what in the world happened here? No, what happened there, but again, as you can see on our bracket, as soon as I try to fix this, there we go. There's our bracket again. You can see again, as soon as they report, 100x3am will be given that 4-0 win. Another sweep. They have just looked incredible here tonight. And again, they only seem to get to just be that team that just is inevitably going to take these matches. And it just feels like nobody can stop them from that goal. They want that grand finals. They want it so badly. They are going to do just about anything to get there. Of course, that last match tonight, they got to play that grand finals. NIRV Technique, 100x Team Not Found. Both, facing each other. It is, sorry, in Game 5, actually, not Game 6. It is in Game 5 on AnthonyMalum's stream. NIRV Technique, not that far away from taking it, but of course, can't call it now. We've seen 3-game comebacks before on this, and Team Not Found definitely capable of it. But NIRV Technique, another very high-level roster here. Came into this event not as one of the highest seeds, but have definitely left the qualifier as such. And people have been justifiably watching their progress. Again, if you want to see that, it's on AnthonyMalum stream, AnthonyMalum, AnthonyMalum, catching that action. But for us, again, we're going to go to the grand finals. We'll be back soon. We'll get you all updates on what the grand finals will be, but for now, we'll go to a break. We'll be back soon. In a stunning Game 5 overtime, NIRV technique, take it over 100x 3AM. We go to our grand finals very, very soon. Determine our champion. In a stunning Game 5 overtime, NIRV Thank you for the raid, Cobra. Welcome in. We are about to start our grand finals, so stick around for that. It's gonna be insane. The grand finals of the Ascend Tournament Series Legends Cup 2, sponsored by Team Silenced, are about to begin. 100 Extra AM, NIRV Technique. It's been 2 dominant performances. We knew it was going to happen. They'd meet in the grand finals, and fate has told us that prediction was correct. Joining me here is AnthonyMalum, who's gotten to see the NIRV Technique run tonight. And well, I must say, for both these teams, it's been dominant so far, but against each other, this is a grand finals that is going to be their toughest match today.
It's been really enjoyable so far tonight to watch NIRV Technique go through. We've been watching them the entire time form this unbreakable wall of defense, and their shooting has been good. I'm going to give flowers to it now, get it over with. They had a couple of games where they got to 6 goals. It was great. But their defense is so good. We kept saying, oh, Evo Summit have to find a crack in the defense. Oh, Team Not Found has to find a crack in the defense. And we thought it was going to happen for a moment. Team Not Found, I believe it was in game 2, came out. They got a quick, early 1-minute goal. And we said, oh, okay, they figured it out. That was all they got. So for Technique, the big thing to look for is their defense holding up? Are they keeping that wall up? Is anything getting through? If it's not, you know how the game's going to go.
Yeah, you know how this game's gonna go. It's all about that defense for them. Defense, so often, they say, wins championships. am ironic, and that they're the exact opposite. This is an aggressive team. They have good defense, but what has really led them tonight has been Noki and Souls. That duo has been insane. So many people call am Crypto's team. They mentioned Crypto. It's always about Crypto. I want you to know, tonight, we have not seen any Crypto. He can't play tonight, and this team has looked even better. Both these teams have seemingly picked up the pace here tonight when it comes to their playstyle, when it comes to the pressure that they want to bring. These guys have all kind of turned it up. If we just take a look kind of at our final bracket here, I know it's not much to look at, but you can already see today just how they've played. It's been unmatched. Technique only losing a single game to Team Not Found. We have 2 straight sweeps. Compare that to yesterday with the best of 5s. And IRV Technique had a much tougher time. They had to play 3 matches. They lost 2 games en route to that main event. For 100 AM, they only had to play 2, but it was even tougher. They lost 3 games. So it feels like, you know, on Championship Sunday, or I guess Championship Friday for this event, these teams have turned around and have gotten even better. And I must say, that is a scary proposition.
It is, and the standout players for me, everybody on NIRV Technique has been solid. That's been their big thing for me, is they've all looked good. But I'm going to draw my attention to Tritone, and I'm going to say Stingray for this one. Tritone has been really good at going coast to coast, at playing strong defense and turning it into offense. We've seen a lot of aggressive shots off of the ceiling that Tritone followed through, and also the improv of Tritone, being able to react quickly, make redirects happen, catch a ball that got pinched off from the sidewall, and nobody should notice, and all of a sudden Tritone is on it. And for Stingray, it's been the same old song and dance. They commit to the corner. Stingray sets up, tries to go for a center, not so much a pass, to Ruin, there hasn't been a lot of passing from NIRV Technique. It's been a lot of setup, a lot of centers, a lot of, oh, it's off the crossbar. Let's fake out. We have Stingray at midfield. It's a lot of clean play like that. It's been pretty to watch, but they're games that were high scoring, Sporty, and this kind of concerns me. As you mentioned, that the defense is solid from 100x through AM, but their offense is good. The defense from NIRV has been immaculate, but their offense has worked off of their defense. So if they're taking too many defensive opportunities and they're spending too much time on the back foot, maybe that's the opening for 3AM.
Yeah, no team's been able to stop him, and you mentioned NIRV Technique with Tritone stepping up. You know, coming into this event, he was not on their roster. He was added to their roster as a sub. He comes in today. The same thing can be said about Stitch. Added as a sub, comes in today to replace Crypto. Both these teams have players that have stepped up when they needed them on Championship Sunday. Subs coming in. You mentioned Tritone. Yeah, I haven't mentioned too much about Stitch, but he's came in, stepped in to this event. So for both these teams, they've had some very tough times. And, you know, for 100am, even they mentioned Tritone as being a scary player. But even before this tournament, I remember Crypto telling me that his team were watching Tritone specifically. We're watching how he would do, because I noticed he's actually a really high-ranked player. He's one of the highest-ranked players in this tournament. And again, he's playing today. He's playing on NIRV Technique. NIRV have not won a tournament here. In fact, I don't think they've even gone to the Grand Finals yet in an ATS tournament. So for them, this team's already done really well for them. For 135 3AM, 135 had 3 teams come into this event. 2 of them on that side that included NIRV. Obviously, Team Not Found being the one that lost them in the semifinals. X35 are known as that team that loves to be at the top. They always seem to find a way to do it in these ATS tournaments. And, well, now they'll see if they can do it here. Specifically for Crypto and his team. They've had very good performances. They played very well, but they've never been able to win. Noki and Souls have been such a strong duo behind him. This is really their proving point to prove that this is not Crypto's team. This is 100x3am.
I feel like it's a lot of the same on the other side. I feel like it's more on field for me. It's the idea of there hasn't been one player, and we talked about this a little before we went live, just between you and I. It was this idea of, well, everybody's looked really good. It's hard to pinpoint who's been the most diabolical, the most iconic on the pitch. It's more of just the team effort has been clean. There's obviously, as I mentioned, there's been Tritone with a few really good looks, in particular, a couple of the ceiling shots that D'Lo and I saw left us both very impressed. D'Lo in particular got him all excited about chassis of cars. It was a whole thing. But the follow-up, the back and forth between Ruin and Stingray has also been very interesting to watch. It feels like there is minimal communication needed with a lot of their setups, because again, they're not directly passing. It's more opportunistic follow-up.
As you said as well, you don't need to be able to pass to have good team chemistry. And yeah, they definitely prove that as well. You know, for NIRV and 100am is kind of the same thing, although they are a little bit more direct with what they're going in this event, you know, coming into this. But, you know, what I find so interesting about these teams, again, is that there's that chemistry, there's that ability for them to work around each other, but an event like this in a grand finals, it all comes down to that clutch factor. Both these teams have had such seemingly easy days, and it really did look easy for X3am. I'm sure NIRV, the fact that they went 4-0 and then 4-1 was probably not too difficult for them to get their results with what I'm seeing with the game results for them. These teams have been exceptionally strong. Now all they need to do to make sure is now they're playing against each other. This could be a very interesting match, but these teams have been used to domination, so how are they going to now do? Well, now they have a couple games taken off of them in a day that has been perfect so far. Because let's just be real about this, AnthonyMalum. This matchup is going to be close. It's going to be a battle. No team is going to sweep like they have before.
And that's kind of the big thing, is the easiest way of figuring out how this matchup might go. I know there's already the prediction out and a lot of points on one side, but it's who off the rip can get a foothold in the game. And is there a pre 1-minute goal? Is there somebody running away with the lead? If those things happen, they might be able to lock it in and really ride that momentum the whole way through. But if what you're saying comes true, and I do actually believe and stand by you, like I'm totally in lockstep with that this could be really close, then what is the thing that sets you apart? How can you break that even game?
Yeah, and again, the question you mentioned, it's an offense versus defense battle. For NIRV, their offense has been consistent. But as you mentioned about the NIRV defense, the defense is good, but they rely a lot on that defense to get offense. Next to them, you can say the same thing about their offense. Their defense relies a lot on that offense. They need to have a lead. Their defense is good, but it's definitely not the best defense here. NIRV have them beat on that factor. But NXTIM, that offense, it's going to be Souls and Noki, again, who are leading ahead, who have to be able to connect. So far tonight, they've had some walk-in-the-park matches. They have not looked all that pressured, all that stress. Gotta turn up here, because under that pressure, people have, again, mentioned this is a team that plays well, but without Crypto, it's always a question on this team. They didn't play good the last time they played without Crypto, but obviously here tonight they do. How can they prove that under that pressure, he can still lead? And for you, at least looking at NIRV, you know, is there kind of a playstyle? Is there kind of a strategy that you see from them that they could employ, you know, to take this grand finals? Because it is going to test everything from them to take this grand finals.
I only saw NIRV Technique double commit a singular time, and D'Lo pointed it out because he didn't really like the way that they went into the double commit, but it did end up working out. It turned into a goal. They kind of just threw their bodies at the ball to get it into the net, but it was a rare sight to see, and that's kind of the main thing. What they did a lot was they would try to bait the opposition into hard committing to the corner and trying to go for a simple drop down pass into a shot and keep it in that corner. And they would keep, I want to say most of the time it was Stingray and Ruin with Tritone getting a bit aggressive and going for bumps in those scenarios, just sitting on the net. So the ball would just be in the corner with two members of NIRV Technique ready to clear it out. And then that's how they got their offense rolling. If they go to that again, I could see it working really well because there wasn't much to do to counter it, because once you're already in the corner, it's kind of like going into the spider's web. You know, there's no getting out of that web in that scenario.
As you mentioned again, maybe those counterattacks are going to be a huge factor for them, because 100x3am can definitely be susceptible to that. Oftentimes do leave Stitch alone, so that could definitely be where NIRV gets their offense, get their chances. But enough of us talking about the what-ifs, about the potentials. Let's talk about this series itself. 100x3am, NIRV Technique. NIRV have never made it to a top 8 as an org in an ATS tournament. Now they're at the top 2. The Legends Cup 2, sponsored by Team Silence. 100x35, 3am. The first time 100x35 has made it to the finals of a tournament, of a Legends Cup tournament. This org has been around since the very beginning, NIRV a little bit on the newer side here. And yet, we go to the grand finals. Offense versus defense. 100x35, 3am on the blue. NIRV Technique on the orange. This is the grand finals, and a best of 7 to decide it.
Already a demo for Souls onto Ruin to create an offensive opportunity, but it turns into an attack coming out from NIRV Technique. Stingray with a shot. It's on. Just goes right, but Ruin with a follow-up. It was close, but not there.
It was not there yet. NIRV already bringing out that early pressure. Again, 100x3am have had a relatively easy day so far, and they've looked very calm. They've played pretty slow. They're not a very fast team, which can definitely be a problem against some of these other rosters. NIRV Technique coming into this event, they were originally the number 9 seed in this event, but after the first day of the qualifiers, the first thing I heard from Tommy Buckets, who got to see the end of their run in that upper bracket, is watch out, this team will make a run. And if Tommy was watching now, I'm sure he'd be pretty happy, because his prediction has definitely come true.
Stingray to Ruin, who was waiting at the side wall. Now Stingray looking for the double. No, not there. 100x3am now with a look. A demo from Souls could set up well, but honestly, a bit of a stagger there, a bit of a stutter almost coming out from 100x3am. I liked the opportunity, but I guess they got too low in boost to feel confident. Sporty Stitch, though, still finding an opening, but Tritone with the save.
Yeah, and you're seeing that again. The blocks, the defense here from NIRV Technique, they're shutting down 100x3am. This is an impenetrable wall right now. But for 3am, the thing about their offense is they've got mechanics, they've got Noki and Souls, they've got great chemistry. So long as they're willing to play that aggression, eventually all good defenses will have their breaking points. But still, NIRV, theirs is a tough one to find, and as you mentioned, teams struggle to get goals against these guys, and for very good reasons. NIRV Technique can keep this going. That confidence gets higher, they keep playing well. We could be seeing them get on offense too, because so far what has really impressed me out of them is the ability for them to clear, but that net's open, and Stitch will take it. 150-50 in the corner, a demo on the net, and that leaves it open. 100x3am with goal number 1.
Tritone had gone all the way back to the deep blue side to look for boost. They left everything open. Combined with the demo, Sporty, that is where you'll find the cracks in defense. That was one thing that nobody used against NIRV technique, was there was no physicality deployed to try to break through the defense. Finally, we see it, and it works basically instantly, but Tritone almost able to respond. Instead, now Noki bringing it through.
And I am in the midfield. It's awkward for Ruin, and another one for Stitch. 2 here for the substitute for next 3 a.m. He's been quiet all night long, but here in Game 1 in the Grand Finals, with everything on the line, this is when Stitch plays, and 100x3 a.m. off to an incredible start. Their offense is winning right now.
The offense is breaking through. It's a bit too much, and shooters shoot. You take too many shots, even the best defense finds it hard to function. Almost another look that time. Will be a demo coming out from Ruin on the Noki, but the offensive push from NIRV is much more important. They're looking for any opening they can find, but it's already back to an offensive run for 100x3M. 3M left no breathing room, Sporty. They instantly got back on attack after one small look. Will they do it again this time? Tritone up. Noki is able to get the more of a redirect. No save credit at that time, but it turns into a clear, turns into a run. It's looking good. Stitch, it's close.
And NX3AM defense, I mentioned, it's been pretty good tonight so far. Obviously, this is going to be their biggest test here, but they're holding up pretty well. And just like NIRV, these clears from them are finding a ton of room to work with, as now they'll go for another one. A pass here from Souls. Noki, that connection has been beautiful so far, but won't be able to break out there. Stitch now gets past one, trying to get the dunk on Tritone,
Nice.
But 100x3 AM, that's the scary player they've mentioned about. They were not happy to hear that Tritone was playing tonight, and an NIRV technique definitely taking so far a look at that, but it's a good shot from Ruin. Nobody in the back post. 100x3 AM give up their first.
Noki had gotten, I don't know if it was an overcommit or a bump that sent Noki flying, but it left it just Stitch and Souls by the net, and Ruin with a great look from the sidewall had too much height and too little time to respond for 3 a.m. That gets NIRV on the board, and that's really important because they do thrive off confidence. Their kickoffs post-goal always looked really good. We'll see if they can do the same thing again.
Well, they're already in control here as Ruin. Tritone getting that one over Souls. Stitch will wait under it, but Ruin's gonna beat him on it. This one in for Stingray! And a bullet to the back of the net! NIRV technique have tied!
It felt like it was inevitable that we'd start seeing these shots, but it took the kickoff. It took some momentum to become rolling for NIRV technique. Now they've got it. Can they continue to do it is the big question. There's another kickoff, and 100x3M have to play it right, but Ruin off the kickoff, open net, makes it happen. That's a lead for the orange side.
And in what seems to be a blink, NARV technique have scored 3 straight. 100x3AM, a battle to start this game off, but they have not been able to shut down the NARV momentum. And now NARV are in the driver's seat. Another one for Tritone off the kickoff, saved away there barely by Stitch. But 100x3AM, this is NIRV. This is a team that they're facing off against the Grand Finals. And this team, once they get confidence, this team looks good, but they'll look for more. Noki to the back wall. Ruin will keep it to the corner, but it sets up Stitch for an infield play. Up high, sauce this one in front, but no one there waiting. Now Noki, Ruin clears it back. Souls was in the midfield. NX3AM still looking for offenses. We're heading into the final 30 seconds. He's got a foot reset. Stitch uses it! Oh, Stitch! Oh, it's beautiful!
As beautiful gets, makes it work. Same thing to happen to Noki earlier. Ruin gets caught flying past midfield, makes it a 2-on-2, and Stitch just made it look easy, splitting the uprights on that 2v2 to make it 3-3 with 30 seconds to go.
And this game picking up pace here. The Grand Finals starting off close. Noki, another one. That one will be directed by Ruin. Tritone, nothing in the tank. Noki will make sure to get that challenge, but a bump backwards. Stingray going upfield. Who will have the last laugh here in regulation? When an X3M want it to be them as Noki now. Downfield all by himself. Tritone will challenge, but he'll get dunked out of this play. Stingray now. It's NIRV technique. The flick. Tritone waiting. Stitch the last one back. Oh, he got tripped up on the post, but the ball hit the ground. And for the first time on this stream, we will see overtime.
Right away, Ruin and Tritone commit, but go too far. Stingray was waiting in the corner, does get it back. Now have to battle with Stitch, who's got full boost, but Stingray gets it through. Now to Ruin at midfield, but Souls is there. Can Tritone get a handle? Not fully. There'll be another chance for 100x 3am, who made it look clean to tie it up. Can they find another to lock down game number 1?
And you mentioned that momentum, a huge issue earlier about NIRV always playing well under good momentum, but they're not under good momentum. They just gave up a goal, and now another one saved away as Tritone will be there. NIRV feeling the full force of this 100x3am offense, and it still has more left in it. NIRV momentum, again, is going to be a huge factor for them. They don't have positive momentum now, having given up that goal to 100x3am late in this game. With how 100x3am is playing, they look to get another one. Stitch, Ruin will get the block, but he'll be bumped away. No boost for Ruin, and that's going to give 100x3am more space to work with as another infield pass, but cut off just the same by Stingray. And it will be NIRV technique here on offense as Tritone will get it started.
Oh, they were very, very starved of boost, and NIRV could not make it work without it, even with the demo. Now it's a look, but Souls will get it out off the sidewall. Noki was trying to fly in to make the shot happen. It's not there. Tritone with control, slows it down, dribble. Overhead of 1. There's a shot! Wide left. No goal for NIRV technique. They'll get another look, but you got to get those opportunities and make them count, especially against shooters like 100x3am. The clock's still ticking in this OT, and it's not getting any sooner to a goal. Ruin with a look. Maybe this is it. Will have to be a double. Stitch hits it.
Yeah, great stop there. Ruin will be there first, and 100x3am just trying to play the patient game at this point as maybe Souls will look for one. Ruin, he's definitely got the win there. It will be Tritone, but NIRV again, it shuts down quickly. Stingray couldn't get the shot on it either, and all the offense that NIRV is getting, it just feels like it ends so quickly. They get fleeting looks, fleeting glances at that net. And 100x3am looking to try to get their chance, their look, their glance that they can score off of, but offense has not been kind to them either. This has really kind of fallen into a stalemate. No team willing to play too over-aggressive, and no team getting offense.
I'm starting to worry about the boost situation for the side of NRV technique. They keep finding themselves running out of boost and getting them stolen right in front of their face. Hasn't turned into offense yet for 3am, but it could come soon. Stingray will get control. Ruin runs into Souls. It's a drop down. Noki, too much speed, but makes it work to take game number 1.
100x3am have brought the clutch factor in, and his name is Noki, right under the bar and right over Tritone. Perfect placement. It's such a tough shot from that angle, and you mentioned it, the pace at which he gets to that shot makes it so much tougher, but that's game 1. 100x3am are off to the races.
I honestly can't believe that shot happened. There is so much speed from Noki. I mean, I would have just smacked into the wall, put a dent in it borderline, but not Noki. Noki makes that shot, I guess, 10 times out of 10 from the look of it. And it gives 100x3am a, I won't say commanding, I'll say deserved, but earned game number 1 victory.
Yeah, NIRV is going to make it all earned wins, and the same would go for 100x3am. This is going to be not commanding victories. We're not going to see teams dominate out here with the playstyles we're getting. It's a defensive battle, it's an offensive battle. It's going to be about the little plays, and you mentioned those little leads. 100x3am, NIRV both had leads at one point in that game, but eventually the overtime would go for 100x3am, and I've mentioned as well, their offense is going to be able to control a lot of this game. NIRV technique, it's going to be tough to take control, but their defense has looked good so far, but that offense, you mentioned it, that's going to be where they win this championship.
It is, and I talked about the corner setup, kind of a bait and switch play that NIRV was doing a lot in the previous series. They could not make that play work against 100x3am. The couple of times they did it, it turned into goals for 3am. So with that, I imagine that's going to be abandoned, but Ruin not abandoning an early look for a shot, though it is blocked out by Stitch.
Yeah, Stitch is stepping up here, and I mentioned that he's been mostly defensively minded this tournament, and he will continue to do that as a big block there. Again, you know, filling the shoes of Crypto, I've already mentioned just how good Crypto is. We saw him yesterday on the stream hit a corner double tap. So if that doesn't describe to you the kind of player that Crypto is, and the kind of shoes that Stitch has to fill, I don't know what it is, but he has filled it here. And again, the way his playstyle has worked is he's allowed a lot more space for Noki and Stoles to really take control and to really play their play style. And those two have been teammates for such a long time. They just know how to work with each other. As now the pass in front, Noki will be stopped by Ruin, but 100x 3 AM, again, it's that Souls and Noki connection that we haven't really seen all that much in Game 1, but I promise you, you're going to see a lot of it as this series progresses.
I have to assume we will. I just hope to see more of the exciting back and forth, because that was something we didn't get to see a lot of, at least on my side of the bracket. I know it was sort of similar over here. And that Game 1 was such a change of pace that I'd be fine with 7 of those, I won't lie to you, even if it makes for a longer night. And we could see that with Stingray getting early looks just like that, making it 1-0 for NIRV.
Yeah, a little awkward there from Souls. He had gone the wrong direction and he accidentally left it right in front of his net there. And it's just a little awkward, those missed touches from 100x3am.
Yeah.
I mentioned that rotation is an issue for them on defense. And you're seeing it there. That communication falls apart often between Noki and Souls. It feels like once they go into defense, once they're under a little bit of pressure, they can't seem to collect themselves, and they're going to need to be careful because those mistakes are prime opportunities for any team to score against them. And teams tonight and earlier series have scored against them when they do miss the rotation.
Souls the prop up, net by Stingray, who was a bit low on boost. Ruin and Tritone have refilled. Ruin commits, but Noki gets it over the head. Won't matter too much, at least for the moment. Stitch, though, with a look. Will it matter? No, because Souls cannot connect. But 100x 3am, they're not going to stop taking shots anytime soon. This is that offense you kept talking about with 100x 3am. Whenever that does click, it works, but sometimes opportunities present themselves, but sometimes Souls is able to block, and you block again, the bump is good enough.
And 100x 3am, that defense again shown. They still need to look for that goal back. Now that NIRV are up by 1, they can just play that defensive playstyle that they have done so well already. But Stitch, not looking to let them have it for free here. That flick will be met there by NIRV defenders. Now Noki, Souls with nothing, gonna get the bump on Ruin. Noki, oh, he's got the fake on Stingray, but he cannot get around him on that dribble. And 100x 3am will have to look for a new play. Souls, back pass. Noki calls for it, but he was a bit slow there, and Souls wasn't ready for that one. And 100x 3am, a little bit awkward here, and again, it's coming to that rotation. Now that they're down a goal, they have to push up a little bit more. That pressure's going to get to them. Just look at the pressure. Oh, but a pinch from Stitch. Nearly found its way in. NIRV scattered. Souls trying to get the bump on Tritone. 100x 3am, just like that. They can get the offense so quickly. But still, NIRV are here for it. They hold their 1-goal lead, but it is definitely not convincing so far.
It is not, but one thing you pointed out is that 100x 3am did not look comfortable, but what shocked me was that NIRV was not able to take advantage. You have to take every opportunity, advantage, whatever it may be, you have to take it when you get it. And right now, 100x 3am is trying to do just that. They had a couple of looks there for a shot, neither will find it. Now Tritone tries to bring it to the corner. Ruin on the follow-up. Actually lets it go. Stingray, full boost, has to go back to defend a shot from Noki. It's on, but Stingray made the right choice. It's the good ending. It's the good block.
Yeah, but they're still playing the defense.
Noki! Woo! That was close. It scared me, Sporty.
It is. It definitely is a bit of a scary sight for NIRV. Only up by 1, but they're holding on so well. And look at this, the clock. It's only a minute left. 100x 3am have been playing a long game, a long battle, and they have not been able to score. NIRV holding them down, but as we've seen before, 1-goal leads don't hold on forever all the time. And 100x 3am still pushing here as Stitch off the ceiling. Oh, he's absolutely muscled past Stingray there. Noki won't get it, but Souls will. Bounced off Noki. It sets himself up for an infield play. He's got Noki waiting, and the pass will connect. That one just wide of the net. Stitch couldn't turn it in. Now Noki. Only about a half a minute to go here, 100x 3am. Maybe a few more chances to come back in this game. That pinch going all the way back, though. That's going to waste precious seconds as Noki needs to reset. Tritone trying to hold this one down. NIRV technique have looked solid here this game. The defense showing up when it matters. 1 goal has been all they needed. But they've got to hold on for 10 seconds more. That dribble goes to Souls, Tritone, and very high upfield. That's going to get around him. as Ruin, his touch, Stitch keeps it alive. 3 a.m. looking for one more, but Stingray clears it, goes for net, the back wall in front, still 3 a.m. have this one. NIRV have not dropped it to the ground, and they won't do so there. Stitch, no boost, Sanoki, maybe he's found it, Stingray is blocked, and he'll drop it. Game 2 is NIRV Techniques.
That was a dangerous game NIRV was playing there at the end. They wanted to go for that one more shot, but that one more shot almost proved to be problematic. It does work out. We've got ourselves a series. 1-1 already.
The first game lost for NX 3am tonight. NIRV, it's only game loss number 2. That's how one-sided their matches have been so far tonight. That they play against each other. That's what we call close here. But it is close, and so far we're seeing NIRV bring that defense back. For NX 3am, it was not bad on offense, but we saw less of those demos, less of that kind of aggression. We need to see demos from them. As you said in game 1, they brought a lot of it. They found space. They didn't bring so much of it this game, and I think that's what cost them.
Well, we have, it's that perspective we have. We see how well it works. And I guess for 100x3am, for whatever reason, they did not feel like it made that much of a difference because it's hard to assume they forgot. But those are really the only two options. So they need to bring it back, as you said, because it works. It disrupts NIRV enough to open space on the defense because these 1-0 games, that's where NIRV has been comfortable tonight. They did that all night over on my stream in the quarterfinals and the semifinals. They were winning all those close games, and they never seemed to sweat the close ones.
Well, we go back in, and maybe we'll see another close one here. This series is proving to be close as NX3am and NIRV Techniques set up for another game in our grand finals. Reminder, $100 prize pool guaranteed for both of these rosters, but it's 30 for second, 70 for first, and well, right now, NX3am trying to be the ones up top, and that's a great way to start it. It's Noki to put it in, but really, credit should be given to Souls for creating this.
Absolutely. Was just a troublemaker on that orange side for NIRV, and you could see they just could not get comfortable and respond. Comfort seems to be a really familiar word tonight for good reason with how these teams are playing. But now off the kickoff, you're not even 15 seconds in. There's plenty of time to recuperate. If you're NIRV, or if you're 100x3am, there's plenty of time to put this game away and make a commanding statement that you and I don't even think we'll see tonight. A close one, but Noki on point with the save.
Good save there as another play in front. He'll be sent away as Noki. Sidewall, second touch, just gonna get that one away. NIRV Technique, not the first time actually we've seen Stingray and Ruin on the stream. We've seen NIRV before as, oh my goodness, Souls nearly gave that one away off the post. It will just be kept away as he has a little bit of fortune there on NX3am. We'll pretend as if nothing happened, but we saw there that nearly was about the most easy goal for NIRV Technique so far tonight.
It feels like every goal has so much stress behind it. Another one there, lots of speed on that shot from Stingray, but Souls was able to lock it down. But another one from Stingray, it hits the side. Man, that was a problem I saw a lot of the teams having against NIRV, was they were going wide left, wide right, not a lot on target. But NIRV, they've been on it, but not there. Are they on it with the defense? Noki with a look, it'll bounce, it'll be close. Tritone defends it. Stitch, another look, Ruin gets it back.
And on NX3am have to wait more as NIRV go the other way. Bump in the net, Tritone flip reset, but he couldn't use it there. Noki will escape the harassment. Now NX3am have to go upfield again. NIRV though, holding down the midfield. They lay siege here on NX3am, and NX3am are prepared for a very long battle here to hold this 1-goal lead. Stitch. Back in by Tritone. Now Ruin in the mix. NIRV, a solo effort here up by Ruin. With a pinch to the side. Will give 100x3am time to reset. As that play from Stingray goes nowhere. Tritone will easily see that one. Blocked away by Noki as now up the sidewall. Second touch, good 50-50. Stitch trying to get the bunk, but he'll be beat there by Ruin. Now Souls on it as Souls, the 50-50s from Souls. 100x3am doing anything they can to get that ball out. They don't want to stay all that far back on defense for long.
Noki down to Stitch. We'll bring it to the corner. Souls is setting up to make a real attempt for a drive. Turns into more of a bump and doesn't get it fully away from Stingray, who is now looking to get a handle on it to set up for Ruin. But Ruin will have to commit to the 50 on Noki to slow down the offense. It's been so problematic. Turns into a shot somehow, but it's denied. Another one, not denied. It's in. Stingray ties it up.
Had a great follow-up there, NIRV technique. You mentioned that first play from Ruin, and as soon as he didn't get that touch, it left Souls in a position where he wasn't ready to save it. That clear won't be good enough for NX3AM, but it will be for NIRV technique as they capitalize. You said it, this game's tied. It's another close one for the books, and when it's close, it really is up for anyone.
It really is. I could not tell you how this is going to go. It feels like it's a play-by-play, moment-by-moment call we have to make if we want to try to figure it out. But why not enjoy the journey at this point? That's the kind of game we've got. It's a new look from 100x3am. It doesn't last too long. Noki in a difficult position to defend, but Stitch has rotated in enough time. And looks like NIRV will abandon that attack, at least for the moment. It resumes. It's Ruin off the top to Tritone, who had no boost, was off the mark anyway. The new look will be Stingray on the drop down. Who's there? The only option is Ruin with boost, but Noki with a bump will slow it down.
Now, a lot of clears here for 100x3am. They've, again, do not like defense. This is a team that wants to play offense. They can play defense, but they want to play offense. They want to spend as little time back here as possible. You're seeing an NIRV technique. It's torture for 100x3am. They're being sat back this far, but NIRV technique continuing to get chances, continuing to play upfield. They're winning the boost too, but they're not winning on that challenge. It's Noki! And a giveaway for NIRV technique. They were in control, but one misplay, and that's all that 100x3am needed.
Stingray had committed to that demo in the net of 100x3am, and it feels like every time we're calling out a mistake from NIRV, it's leaving two people alone to defend on an offensive push from 3am. That was the case that time. That was why it's 2-1. That is not why it was almost 3-1. Just Ruin in the net, but it works out. Now it's a look from NIRV. Tritone looking to pass down to Stingray. It'll be off. There's the look, but Noki disrupts it well enough to get the save.
Great block, Noki in the right place at the right time there, and as I mentioned, time's running out. NIRV technique have to play much more heavy on the commits here, but that's not a thing that they're used to, but still they gotta go for it. Stingray, a name that a lot of NIRV fans will recognize very, very fondly here as Stitch now on the back wall. Noki jumping in, 100x3am surviving there. Now Stitch on the ceiling. Ceiling shot. Stingray responds. And, well, 100x3am have now given themselves time to waste here against NIRV as Stingray's whiff. But it will set up Tritone for the clear. And 3am giving him space. Tritone off the corner. Ruin demoed away. But everybody's committed up for 3am. They will survive with that touch from there by Noki. Now to the corner. Time running low at 0 seconds. The ball will stay on the ground. And 100x3am taking the odd game so far. Once again, one game ahead.
A tough loss there for NIRV. It felt like there were a multitude of times where they had opportunities that they just let slip by the wayside. And at the end there, we saw what looked like it maybe could have been a look for a goal, and it kind of fizzled out into a word that you used early on in that game, which was awkwardness. And you can't afford that if you're an IRV. This is the grand finals. It's you said it before. It's the teams that were expected to be here. You've got to play everything clean and correct. Unfortunately, that was not enough of either one.
As you said, again, it's a very tough run for these teams, and yet both deserve to be here. It's just which team will take this overall is, again, a very, very impressive start so far from both these sides. But you mentioned it, then that defense is playing well. Next to them, though, that offense, it's taking over at least for now. But grand finals, in the grand scheme of everything, there's a lot more series to go. There's a lot more to prepare for. Reminder: both these teams still have their tactical timeouts that they could use. We haven't seen any of them pulled out, so we get to play on here, and we've got a lot of strategies still left. So for NIRV technique, the one thing they can't do is worry.
Yeah, you can't get in your head. You can't panic. You got to just play your game. You know, it sounds simple. Every coach ever says it, but it's because it's true.
Off the kickoff. Clear from Souls. It will look as Noki as the recipient, but NIRV quick to answer. Stingray now to the back wall. Stitch with a big booming touch. Ruin's got to race back for this, and that's nearly under the crossbar.
Wow.
It was just wide of the net. Stitch, again, showing up here in the grand finals. He's, again, really decided to take over, and of all times to do it, this is probably the best time he could be here, because this is a very tough opponent that will need all hands of 100x3am to play well. Oh, that's a bad touch. This one. Oh, what a save from Noki, though. And my goodness, 100x3am got out of that one just barely.
That was a tough look for NIRV. I thought that was it, but they had two members of Boost who kind of just let it go and didn't fully commit for the shot, didn't want to over-aggress, but maybe that'll be the downfall. Maybe that's a shot they'll wish they had back come later in the game. Stingray does get it away from Noki, who was running with no boost, now has a look to Tritone. The shot will be instantly denied by Stitch. No time to even look at it fly through, and now Ruin gets bumped away. The 3M with a chance to clear the ball out, but Tritone gets there first. Another look. Ruin, it's just not there.
It just hasn't been there yet for NIRV, but they're putting it together. They had more of the offensive control last game, which I think is quite interesting to mention. They felt like the team held the midfield a lot better. Felt like 100x3am had more issues with getting upfield. Their offense was better, but it was one that didn't hold control, didn't win the midfield. NIRV are winning the midfield, and you feel like if they continue to do this, 100x3am are going to get so frustrated. That should give NIRV the openings. As Tritone! Oh, what a double tap! Souls waiting on the goal line, patient, and that will help his team out here as they'll get away from that chance, but still, they just don't have offense to talk about here for 100x3am.
None whatsoever, Sporty. This feels like a different game so far. I mean, we're seeing some of the same things, but a lot of the play calling has been out of the window. It's a lot more chaos. It doesn't fit the mold of either of these teams, but neither one have had looks good enough to make it feel like what we've seen, I guess, is the problem. Maybe it's here, but Noki intercepts it, does prop it up to Stitch. Stitch with a look! Blocked away by Ruin.
An NIRV technique now tested on their defense, but they'll hold on just as well as 100x3am have, but Noki now got the beat. Stingray there just in time. Used a whole lot of boost to get there, and now he's got the beat as well. Tritone around Souls, wants a beat. It's Noki with nothing, but he will stand tall. NIRV technique will need another chance to find the net. Noki now running away from the NIRV attackers, and the flick over one. Ruin with half a tank. Stingray, ooh, he had a side swipe there, but he'll survive in a 100x3am. At this point, it feels like they're waiting and beckoning for an NIRV technique to play aggressively, but they themselves aren't playing all that aggressively here either, and it feels like both these teams just waiting for something to happen.
Ruin stops it. Could have been dangerous. I still can't believe the play we saw Noki make with no boost. What can't Noki do tonight? NIRV have got to figure out a way around it on their offensive run, but they've not really had any groundbreaking ones so far this game. A look, but Stingray there easily defends it. Noki, new look, brings it up, lets it go. It'll fall and bounce, but Ruin was there. New NIRV almost trusted in the ball a bit too much there, and it was nearly problematic. Souls, new look. Stingray has to be perfect. Off the top, Noki, it's in! 1-0, 100x3am.
3 minutes and 43 seconds. The deadlock is broken here in Game 4, and it is the Souls Noki connection. I've mentioned it already. You better believe it's real, because that's exactly what they've been doing here all night. It's the passing, it's those intentional plays to find each other. Noki and Souls, they've been teammates for such a long time. You're seeing it come as a huge benefit for 100x3am. Stitch! Oh, what a dunk! Stitch! Fly high! 100x3am double their lead to 2.
One of the weirdest shots we've seen, but sometimes it's all you need to get the 2-0 lead. 100x3am, they're cooking something in this game, looking to fight their way to a match point. And speaking of earned, it's been that so far. Tritone, low and boost, gets it through! What? Hello?
Somehow, someway, Tritone is the one to find it. A little dribble, a little fake, he catches Souls, who stops moving. And it's right when Souls stops moving, that's when that net opens up. Had Souls kept his momentum, that's very much the whole net covered. In fact, he stopped, that's what it gives Tritone the space to work with, and credit to Tritone having the presence of mind to recognize that, because NIRV technique now with momentum. Tritone again, but that flip reset. Stitch will see none of it, and 100x3am now having to play a lot of defense. It feels reminiscent of what we saw last game.
Problem is, though, for NIRV, they still need that one goal, and no matter how much you're making the team work on defense, if no goals come from it, did it really make a sound? That's 2 back-to-back demos from the orange to the blue, but can you make anything work off of it? They have to in these 30 seconds to tie it up and potentially send us to an OT. But Souls and Noki, they've got control, and they're back to the net with Stitch in tow. Here's a look from Tritone, but it's in! That's going to tie us up, and with 17 seconds left to go, Sporty, NIRV might not be thinking overtime, they might be thinking game.
They might be here. Hunter X3AM played the passive game in that corner. They waited, and you just can't do that when NIRV Technique are upfield. It's tied at 2, but off a kickoff, Stitch going for the net there quickly. Ruin will block. Tritone may want to see this one end, but he'll go upfield. Noki going up high. Stingray will be able to read it. Tritone full boost. Maybe one more chance. Tritone. Souls though. The dunk off the back wall. Stitch. Oh, he couldn't read it though. And we go to overtime again. Game 1 went to OT. When our next 3AM won the struggle. In Game 4, can they do it again and take match point?
It was almost quick. Stitch with a quick shot out, but Stingray blocked it. Now Ruin to the top will deny that one from Noki. Ruin brings it through. Lots of speed. Noki gets there first. Gotta block another from Stingray. Stitch does just that. Not gonna be game for NIRV quite yet, but they're not done shooting out either. Stingray looks for another. It'll come down to Ruin, but Ruin can't get it through Souls. Can Tritone do it? Yes. Gonna be off the top. Tritone runs back. This is opportunity for 3AM.
And Stitch going all by himself. He's been elite tonight. Snooky Souls! Give him another! It's Souls! It's a 3AM passing play! And it's triple match point!
Souls indeed. A match point for 100x3AM. You want to talk about earned, the key word of the night. That was earned indeed from Souls with the big time overtime goal. Noki with 3 saves in that game as well. That we kept talking about how unbelievably unrealistic those saves looked. My goodness gracious. What an unbelievable one to watch. That does bring us to match point though, Sporty, for 100x3AM, and as close as they felt, there's still a bit of a hill to climb for NIRV if they want to get back in.
That offense has not been good enough. They need to bring the offense. It's just, they haven't been able to find it. 3AM's defense has been up there with NIRV techniques. You can talk about all you want about which team has the better defense, but if the defenses are close, then the offenses take control. And we know which team has had the better offense tonight.
Yeah. That's very true. And the defense wins championships. You said it yourself, but you've got to get enough offense. That's the problem. There has to be enough. And so far, there hasn't been enough from NIRV. There's been close to enough, but close doesn't win Rocket League.
It doesn't. Close will never win anything here. And we'll go into Game 5. It's ironically our first time going to Game 5 on this stream here tonight. I know you've gotten to see it once. But 3AM looking to end this Grand Finals as quickly as it started. And this is where they can do it. Game 5. The Legends Cup 2, sponsored by Team Silenced. Onyx 3AM looking to become champions, and with a win here, they can do just that. But for NIRV Technique, now they fight for their tournament lives.
You have to fight here. Fight and more fight. That's going to be the key for NIRV. And for 100x3AM, got to just do more of the same of what we've seen from you all night. If you can do that, you can bring it home. Noki will hold control, bring it down to Souls. Now Souls props it. Watch for Stitch. Is Stitch even needed? Maybe so, with Stingray getting the save. And then Tritone with the demo. Maybe some physicality will come through this game for NIRV.
Maybe we haven't seen them pull that. Next 3AM happen more likely as a demo now from Stingray. Noki. Stingray again. Not a lot of boost to work with, but it will be for Ruin and will be for NIRV offense. Stitch. Oh, great first touch, but that flick won't help. Oh, but it still slides its way through. NIRV Technique, we're not ready for that flick, and Stitch, again, come in with full confidence, and that's what I love to see from Stitch here. It's so easy in his position to be nervous on this roster. But yet he's come in this Grand Finals, and he has just been lights out, all confidence on his challenges. He trusts his teammates, and you're seeing a Stitch that you don't generally see often.
You don't indeed. Rowan, great positioning. Just happened to be in the right place there to get that save from Stitch. It feels like 3AM are playing a death by 1,000 cuts form of offense this time, because that's one of the weaker spots for NIRV. If you control the pace of the game, you seem to control their offense, and 100x3AM understand that. And we're looking for more, but Stingray does get it through. Watch for Ruin, who's setting up, but no center available, which means no offensive play. to be seen, and Ruin runs out of boost trying to set up for it, and Stingray's got to rush back with Tritone to be there for the defense, as Souls and Noki we're looking for, but just a totally different pace so far in this game, Sporty. Tritone will get off the backboard. Stingray denied.
He is denied, and then you mentioned NIRV technique. The first time it feels in a while in this series, they do not have control of the flow, and NX3AM do, but as we've seen before, NX3AM don't even need to have control to be a good team, to take wins, and all you need to do is get good plays. That might be it! Duncan Fritz, it's gone on the goal line, but it won't go in. The ball said no, and we play on.
The ball said no indeed. The ball said get away from me. Stitch will try again, but it's not there, not as clean. Tritone low on boost, will control it out, but Noki takes advantage to a lying in wait Stingray. Now coast to coast for Stingray, all the way through, almost, but denied at the corner of the net. Those denials just keep on coming. We're still 0-0. Stingray trying to break the tie. Noki dies for it on the defense, but it works out. The drop down from Tritone, not there either.
Stitch has been incredible. You talk about the defense of NIRV, all these players playing well. NXTIM only needs Stitch. It seems like, and their defense is good. As another shot from Noki, that one pinched on the post. It feels like it's so close, and yet it doesn't go in. It stays tied. Stitch has done so much work. Now he's hoping that his team can just get that goal to send them through. This championship not determined yet. Is a good shot on. No challenge from 3AM. Stingray will go and find the back post.
It felt like something had to give. The shots did not stop going through. It was funky defense at times. Nobody could get comfortable, but everybody was still playing on. It finally does break through, and it goes the way of NIRV, which might be unexpected if you've been following along with the series so far, but best of sevens are long for a reason. Gotta find the best way. Stingray with a look to Ruin, and it's going to be blocked by Souls.
Another save, but that beat, oh my goodness, Souls just getting to it. And if NXTIM holding on by a thread at this point, they've got to get upfield though. Now they're the ones a goal down, and we've already seen them struggle getting goals against NIRV technique late in games. They've got to find one here, a Stitch around the corner, trying to get the bump on Ruin, but will be Ruin on this one as Souls up early. I thought he maybe could have tried to control that touch, but instead it's sent to Stingray. NIRV holding on to this one, as they're holding on to the series for dear life. As long as they keep the offense, they'll be in good position. That bump will give them more time to work with. NIRV technique not committing all that much. They're just looking to make sure that the midfield is theirs, but Noki the other way, and NXTIM still have life in them here in Game 5, here to take this series, this championship, this Legends Cup.
Can't believe how fast this game is going by. It has just been blazing quick, but somebody has to win it, and that somebody right now is poised to be NRIV, but there's still plenty of time for 100x 3AM to make that comeback. Noki looking to lead the way, gets it on target with what was nearly a sneaky shot, but it does get blocked, but the setup damage is done. Watch Stitch, catches it, gonna be close. Noki looking to set up, one more look for 3AM.
One more, they'll look at the midfield here. Noki couldn't get around Ruin, but Stitch, not the touch he was looking for. And we've got Game 6. No series in this bracket has gone to Game 6. Our grand finals will. NIRV technique wanting to go to Champions Field, and they're making a good case for it.
Weird pacing of that game, I think, is the best way to describe it, Sporty, but what does it matter if it's weird if your team wins? And that is exactly what NIRV technique is saying right now. And if I'm 100x 3AM, it's not drawing board, but it's definitely a conversation of, all right, who's talking first? Guys, what happened?
What I find so surprising is that there's no call for that tactical timeout either. Meaning, there's a good chance we're not going to be seeing one this series. Both these teams not willing to use one. Teams have used them this tournament, but these teams not willing to. They like what they've seen.
I believe NIRV has used one tonight.
They have?
Well,
they aren't using it here. You can tell why they're confident, but honestly, I have not. And I think that tells you a lot about these teams. They're not using it. They're confident, and that's a good sign to see going into the rest of this tournament if you're on either of these sides.
It's true. I mean, it's confidence you have to respect. It's just, will confidence be the death of you? Are you saving it for Game 6 at the end, potentially? Is that where the play lies? Lots of questions to be had, Sporty.
There is, but really need to have one answered. And that would be who's going to win this event and who's going to win
True.
Game 6. Hunrix 3AM. Again, they're on match point. They were on match point last game but couldn't do it. NIRV technique have played well, but Hunrix 3AM can still end the run here, short of Champions Field. But for NIRV, now hope is within reach. That free game comeback, we've seen it done on the stream so many times before. Why not do it in the grand finals of the Legends Cup 2, sponsored by Team Silenced? But Hunrix 3AM, that offense, it's going to be a real pain to deal with. NIRV technique, they got to make sure they do their best to make sure that offense does not get off to a flying start.
They do. What better place than Neo Tokyo with the big old rabbit with the carrot in the sky overlooking it all like some strange rabbit god. Maybe that's a god you need to pray to get the advantage in your game. NIRV certainly looking to do it to stay alive, with match point being there for 3AM. But no great offensive looks so far. A lot of control from 3AM, though, looking to get that pace back to where they like it, Sporty. That was something they had problems with in the previous game.
It was. That last game they had control, but yeah, you could understand that pacing was a little awkward for them. This is a team that was trying to pick up that pace a little bit at times, but it fell back to the slower playstyle that they have kind of gone with on earlier matches. And in earlier matches, it wasn't all that awkward because they continue to just dominate, but can't dominate against NIRV. You gotta play well, as that chance just, again, a little wide. And next to AM, they've been shooting, but they need to find openings, and openings aren't coming here if NIRV are sitting in front of that net. Here's another chance. Stitch, oh, gets around one. Ruin will be up, so is Stingray. Will be up for Tritone, and at least for now, NIRV, is that it? Off the post and the crossbar, and it was just that far away from a 1-0 lead for NIRV.
I said it last game, I mean it even more this game. Every shot that you have the opportunity for, but you just miss, is one that you're going to be thinking about the later and later the game goes on, because that's one goal that could have been there for comfort, to use our keyword, but more importantly, insurance. Still 0-0, but they'll all matter in the end. Stitch will set up on a center, turns to a shot, but doesn't quite find the curve needed.
And you think if one player was sitting there, if Noki or if Souls were there, that's a goal, and that's the 1-0 lead. They haven't been playing nearly as confidently as you think maybe they should be in you know, the later stages of this tournament. Maybe
Sure.
the fact that they could win this whole thing is starting to get into their heads, and they cannot let it do that. They have to be able to play that confidence, play up to each other, and play aggressively, but again, they're not willing to do that so easily here. It's a team that is more willing to play defensive, to wait. And I don't know if that playstyle's going to work so well, because NIRV does not have a single problem with waiting and playing defense, because they know eventually they will find their chances, and they're willing to push up a little higher for them. But the redirect comes Stitch, and again, it's NIRV who are collecting this one cleanly, but for next to AM, if they put in a little bit more on offense, they could take it, and that would be it! Oh my
God!
Tritone! Oh, he's gotten back! My goodness! That one came out of nowhere, and still NIRV are there and waiting.
I cannot believe how that one worked out. That should not have been that close, but still, it's 0-0. Everyone has forgotten how to score. It's only defense and more defense, but eventually that has to break down. Souls looks for it, can't find it. Ruin will get the control back. Now Noki will bring it to the corner and look for a center for Stitch, who drives deep, but a bit too much speed. Souls takes it easy. Gets the shot. Easy indeed. 1-0, 3AM.
And no one saw it coming. Souls, I mean, just look at where he's hitting that double tap. That's high and outside, and yet he directs it on. One goal for 3AM, and AnthonyMalum, that one goal may be all they need.
Honestly, what more do you need in this series aside from the one goal? That's been all that's mattered most of the games we've seen. Will it be the case this time? It's do or die for NIRV. They've got to figure it out here. Stingray with the bump, sets up for Tritone, and Tritone, do or die indeed. Let's tie it up.
And Tritone comes up clutch again. If there's anybody who's been able to do it for NIRV in this finals, it has been him. Tritone, who didn't play on day one, but is here on day two. And look at how much he matters to this roster. It feels like whenever they need a step-up player, that step-up player is Tritone.
Where do we go from here? 1-1. Feels like a game 7 in a game 6. Demo from Inoki that wants to make it the last game required. Stitch with a shot. Ruin with the block. Another look. Watch Noki. Full boost at midfield. goes in for the contest, which will bring it down with a bump to Stitch, but there's just too much on that ball. NIRV's time.
And we've already seen just how quick they'll attack, but Noki, be clear there, and it's gonna get around Tritone. Ruin may have called for it though, and actually I have to push up higher here. They're not happy to be in that position, especially with so little time, because if they overcommit, that's NIRV taking Game 6, going to Champions Field with a huge amount of momentum on their side. Yet, actually I have to play that way. Now around the corner, Stitch. Good believe there, but oh my goodness, Noki!
Oh my
He
God.
overcommitted out to that boost, nearly left it open, and it's just enough for Stitch now. Around Stitch, the net's open, and Stitch. 6 seconds remain, and 3 a.m. Call it scrappy. Don't worry about it. They're gonna call it their go-ahead goal.
Stitch! 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 2 goals! That might be what's needed. Last chance for NRIV. They had a great night, but does it end here? They've got to play it slow and smart. Stingray props it up. It's matched. It might hit. It does! 100x 3 a.m. They'll do it. They'll take that finals.
Legends Cup 2 champions, 100x 3 a.m. NIRV technique brought the defense, but the defense could not stand up to the power of the 100x 3 a.m. offense. And really, what a performance tonight. What a finals from Stitch. Huge step up. He was virtually unnoticeable in early matches, but this is Stitch's matchup. He looked incredible.
Honestly, so incredible. Everything about that particular series was magnificent. One of the closer, rarely when offensive forward teams and defensive forward teams meet, do you actually get a game of who's going to blink first. Sometimes it goes way far one way over the other, but that time it really did feel like whichever team could lock their strength in more was going to take it home.
He did feel that way as well, and again, what a result it has been here for both of these teams. It really has been. It's one of those things where, again, you look at this matchup, you look at the teams playing, and you say, "Wow, there's so many good talent." Really did come down to those players that got added in later, and my goodness, it was. I don't know what to say. Really, it was a great performance, but and we gotta mention as well from NIRV Technique, what a performance! What a performance specifically we saw there from Tritone. Coming in, he was not originally on this roster for this event. It gets added in later, and this is a huge step up. Both of the teams with their latest additions really stepping up when it matters most. Actually, I may have taken it with their addition, but you can't forget about what Tritone did.
Absolutely not. And I would have been hard pressed to imagine a world where that would have gone any different. The only thing that would have made it more lore accurate in my head would have been had it actually gone to 7 games. But we said it, that 6 game felt like a 7 just the way it was playing out. So who could complain really?
And who can with what a night it has been. As we're gonna make sure that we get this again, kind of the match reported for both of these two as well.
Yeah, that would be important, huh?
Yeah, they gotta make sure they report this match. But again, as soon as it's reported, it will be on next 3 a.m. as champions. We got to see them this whole night. Again, them and NIRV were the favorites coming into this. Obviously, it's them who will win. But man, it was been a quick night for those teams. It didn't end so quick though. But I have to say, what a night indeed. Anyways, because I mean, as we've mentioned, it has been very, very tough match for these teams, but I must say, again, congratulations to them. What a match, though. I'm happy to see it. It's another Legends Cup. Our last one ended in a Game 7. This one couldn't go the same way, but as I said, still incredible nonetheless. And also means we are the new Legends Cup champions, so it's going to matter a lot for these teams. And I don't know what I'm saying. Basically, what I'm saying is, this night has been exceptional, and I've enjoyed it just the same.
Yeah, very much. Just another fun one. I've yet to be involved with an ATS event that wasn't fun, and this one lived up to that same hype. And the stories to the brackets are always the most interesting parts, right? And we definitely got to watch a multitude of wild stories through the brackets.
As you mentioned as well, we've seen So much action here tonight. So much good action here tonight. But you know, this is how our night goes. Well, and man, what a night it has been here. As again, 100x3 AM will take that championship, win it all. AnthonyMalum, it's been insane, but I know we got to get an interview with this team if they're actually available. We always do one. Why not do one here?
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta first find them though, which is itself could be a bit of an issue. Let me go and find these people, and then we can talk with them about what is a successful event here for the Legends Cup champs here next to IM. What also I think is interesting about 135 is this tournament was already so strong from them. They had 3 teams in this event. All of them made the top 8. That's not often what we see. That's pretty relatively unheard of, even for teams like even for orgs like 100x35, who usually do pretty well in these events.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's been a trend I've been seeing a lot lately, just kind of around is it's that time of year, that pre-summer, a lot of teams are being remade, shuffling around, big events coming around. I always like seeing new orgs, new faces pop up in well-known orgs. It's just fun to see new people and new talent.
Which I mentioned again, it's been exceptionally fun here, but is our event here is next to AM taking it, and we'll see if they can get in. But while we do that, we might as well kind of recap on what we've seen today. At finals, they're looking to submit it, obviously, as you can see. But is there any matches here that you've kind of looked at and you've gone, look at that, look at this team? Has there been any team this event that you thought maybe AnthonyMalum that is a team that we should mention that hasn't made it to the grand finals?
I'll have to give it to 100x Team Not Found. I mean, Evo Summit did put up a fight to NRIV. That 4-0 is a 4-0 on paper, not a 4-0 in looks, but Team Not Found, it's even more so the case. A 4-1 doesn't look amazing on paper, but every game they made NRIV work for it to earn their way through to the finals. And it makes me wonder how it would have been a bit different if Team Not Found had made it, but that's the multi-dimensional aspect of it. But I got to give my flowers to them for putting up a fight to the team that would give such a fight to our winners.
Say, a team that could fight, a team that could definitely do that well. And for me, at least on my side, a team that I'd have to mention that had a very good run. When it comes to the upset, Star Nation Blackout had an insane run. 22nd seed in this tournament, and they went through the upper bracket. They couldn't do it today, but that day 1 run, we had so many upsets coming into this bracket. So many incredible teams, and yet, again, I gotta mention them because their run was insane. But yet, we do have our champions. Let's talk with them here. Joining us, Crypto, Noki, Souls, and Stitch. You take the Legends Cup 2, sponsored by Team Silenced, and I know you're watching from the sidelines tonight, Crypto. How does it feel to see your team become champions?
It was pretty good. I'm happy to see Stitch get his moment. He's good. I feel like he's really underrated. People don't give him his credit. Happy for him.
Hey, that's huge. That's important to for the ones who need it most to be able to kind of step up and actually, as you said, have their moment, have their time in the spotlight for sure. And big on you, Crypto, to actually point that out too. I'll go down the list of the names we've got in order in the Discord call. Why not? Noki, you were eye catching the whole time. In particular, a lot of crazy defensive moments where it felt like your car was magnetic at times. Did you feel that where it's like, okay, I saved that because the ball almost killed me? Because it certainly looked that way.
Yeah, so there was just so many moments where like I just had so many saves and I still had control, but a lot of it just has to do with like me being in free play, feeling good with the momentum of the previous series, and also being able to trust my teammates knowing if this Fizzy goes behind me, even if I have control, they're gonna be there to follow up. So it plays a big part with my teammates and plays a big part with just being able to keep my momentum and things like that.
And yeah, I mean, I have to agree on that. Noki had an insane night, but who else had insane night? Stitch coming into this, having to fill in these shoes of Crypto. I mean, people have, again, we've seen how good Crypto has been in the past in these tournaments. We saw how good he was in day 1 when he took down Outback Steakhouse for that main event spot. Stitch coming into this event, sure, those first 2 matches looked, before those sweeps looked pretty confident, looks pretty consistent. But I must say, what was it like for you to have to come in? Because this is a huge tournament for you. It's a tournament that's very high level, yet you were prepared for it.
Yeah, I've been grinding a lot recently, and then course, I was talking to Nookie earlier today, and we are just talking about how we wanted to play. How, you know what, we're here to have fun, and I'm on the sub spot here to improve. I think after this tournament, I think it's safe to say I've improved, and yeah, it's just been fun.
Yeah, it's important to actually, remember why you're playing in the first place. It's kind of the biggest thing, but especially having that chemistry with Noki before to kind of touch base and both go in with the same mindset, that's always
Yo,
huge
what are we doing?
for sure. Go ahead.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say something, Crypto, but I'll go ahead and pass it next. I'm curious, Souls. Noki and Stitch, they both had very... Noki was playing some insane defense and also creating a lot of shots sort of deep in your own side of the pitch. And Stitch was really kind of sprinting and throwing the whole body of the car at the net at times. And you were doing a bit of both and kind of finding yourself in between and making a lot of plays from midfield. Is that something you're just comfortable with, or is that more of a team game plan?
To be honest, it was probably just more of a team game plan, or it was kind of just on the fly. I mean,
Right.
me and Noki kind of discussed between ourselves how we wanted to go into this with Stitch, because this is also our first time playing with Stitch as a whole. So we know between myself and Noki what we're capable of individually, and we just wanted to make sure that with Stitch playing us, he felt comfortable on the field. So I just kind of filled the gap, kind of just a support player. Noki was able to hold down the defensive half when I wasn't there, and I was able to keep up pressure when Stitch and Noki couldn't, just holding down the midfield, because that's a very important part of our game as a whole. We like to control that midfield a lot in our gameplay, so that's kind of where I felt I was needed the most.
I would say it works pretty well, but so you've heard the rumors before about, about you, Noki, and Crypto together. So many people have mentioned this as Crypto's team. So many people have mentioned, and I've talked about Crypto this, Crypto that. Does it feel liberating now to win an event and, have to break that stigma? Because I've heard so often from myself seeing you guys play that it's Crypto's team. Do you feel nice to now know that you kind of take some ownership over this team's success?
I mean, Crypto is an amazing player, I can't lie. So, I mean, I guess we're Crypto and friends, but it's good to be able to show off my capability, QC's capability, and even Stitch. I think we all did our part, had our games where we were all needed, and some games were just one of us takes over, and some games were just a team effort. So I think it was a very good balance, and I think it showcased all of our abilities very well.
Wait,
And-
I just want to say something.
ahead,
If I'm
Crypto.
just letting it known, Noki is our best player. No, it's Noki's team. I'm just letting y'all know.
Well, there you go.
I'm
Crypto
good,
even.
but Noki's
Crypto's trying to pass the mantle to Noki here.
Noki's that guy.
And I think the analysts would agree on that. Noki, you are also our Legends Cup 2 MVP. Congratulations on that as well. Noki, you want to have like a little MVP speech? I know we always give one out. I know it's a little cheesy, but you want to say
Shut
something?
up, my mom. Shut up, my dad.
I mean, yeah, shout out to them. I mean, they let me play for like a couple hours straight, so I mean, it's always nice. I mean, I just got a shout out mainly like Stitch. Bro just showed up. I honestly, he exceeded my expectations. I'm for real proud of bro. Like, we've never played before, like in any game, not twos, ranked, or anything. And for him to come in and have a performance like that, where he could hold in and fill in that gap that Crypto like creates, it's honestly like very impressive to see. And I mean, thank you for the MVP, because I feel like I got to showcase my ability. The finals, I kind of played more of a support role where I was trying to be more team oriented, but in those previous two series, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was going a bit brazy. Like, I was dropping crazy amount of points, I'm not gonna lie. But good ego. But I don't know, like, just thank you though. It's just honor.
Of course, and now we got to get some other shoutouts from the other players here as well. We'll go to Souls. Is there anything you want to say? Any shoutouts that you have?
To be honest, it kind of follows up with Noki. Shout out to Stitch as being the absolute goat pickup sub. Other than that, shout out to my lovely girlfriend. Other than that, we're
Oh yeah, shout out Jess.
Shout out Jess.
Shout out Jess. Shout out Jess.
Now we'll have to move on to Stitch. Stitch, I know you came in sub. They're shouting you out. Do you have anyone you want to shout out?
Shout out Crypto for DMing me, being like, "Yo, you want to be the sub?" I knew he was the guy. Shout out Noki and Souls for being great teammates. I had lots of fun, improved, and shout out to Souls' girlfriend.
All right.
I love this guy. This guy's he's
Well,
got
we
it.
might be seeing more of this team together here as Crypto now. Is there anything you want to say? Any shoutouts that you have?
Shout out Blake. Shout out Thrifty, the goat. Does everything. None of this would be possible without him. We all know that. Shout out Sporty for being the best caster in the scene. Love you, Anthony, but you know it's Sporty.
Dang, all right, that
Um,
is. Well,
Yeah, that's about it.
Jokes
I've
on
not-
you, I am not a
I
Rocket
did-
League caster first.
that is,
Oh,
that is
that's
fair.
all.
He is smites. He is a smite caster. He's doing just fine over there. So.
Oh,
He's way better than me at that. I can agree on that. But again, congratulations on your win, 3 AM, and also joining us here is Thrifty. I know from ATS, we always have 50. You have to talk a little bit at the end of every SM tournament series, kind of event. 50, you know, the floor is yours. I know it's another great event, another fun night of action, and we got a new champion for the Legends Cup run, and I'm sure for our next one, they're going to be looking to hold it against all these incoming talent because this event has been chaotic, but there's been so many good new teams, and I know for future events to come, it's going to continue to be that way.
Okay, first off, ATS Thrifty is going to take a back seat for a second. Right now it's 100x Thrifty, and I just got to say something. Stitch, I kind of doubted you a little bit. My bad. I was a little
Never
nervous.
down my goat.
Ask Crypto. I was a little worried, but honestly, like Noki said, you exceeded expectations, and I'm so proud of you, brother. You finally got your own trophy outside of Team Not Found Shadow. So congratulations to you, brother. Like you deserve all the flowers. You played so well today, and you showed you really do belong in this division. So honestly, from the bottom of my heart, Stitch, you know, I'm sorry for doubting you, and I just want you to know that we love you here, and you deserve all the praise. And don't ever stop doubting yourself. Or don't ever doubt yourself again. I know you went through a slump a little while ago and been having trouble finding a team, but honestly, I hope this opens up everything for you right now. And you know, you got people flocking at the DMs for you. So honestly, and the one player like Souls, you don't get enough credit to on what you actually do on the mindset for this team. So Forty was saying, is this Crypto's team? You guys were saying, is this Noki's team? On God, this is Soul's team. And without you, I don't think this team wins anything. And that says a lot because I know how good Noki is and I know how good Crypto is. But the way you have this team prepared every single time is, you know, that's unmatched. It's something that no other team has or very few do. And you deserve all the praise as well. So I just want to make sure that you get the same shine and love that they do because you're, if not as important, even more important on this team. So honestly, congratulations to you guys. You guys made me super proud today. I didn't get to watch, and anytime I did watch, you guys were in overtime and scared the crap out of me, but you won, so that was really good. And I saw the last 10 seconds where I think it was Noki that got the demo and Stitch got the goal to get the go ahead in 6 seconds, and that was satisfying to see Stitch actually get that goal and cap off this run that he had today because there were so many storylines like you guys were talking about within this whole cup, but so many storylines just within this team. And being as close as I am to these guys and like knowing the back end stuff and DMing Crypto and like the stories that all of them bring and Noki kind of leaving and coming back and Crypto doing the same and Stitch just showing up today like crazy. Like there's just this team deserves everything they get today. And they've have deserved everything they've gotten in the past from Skyward, from how well they did in the last RLCS quals or 2 quals ago, I should say. They didn't get to play this last one. This team only continues to improve, and I'm so happy to have them on our side and not the ops because I feel bad for anybody who has to play these guys. So, shout out to NIRV. They were phenomenal. I told you, Sporty, this team's good. So I was really happy for them and for the whole org and the boys over there that worked so hard with them. Shout out to Team Not Found, even though they couldn't. First of all, they played 5 different players this whole tournament. They didn't get to play their main roster today. Two subs today. Shout out to Ranchi for stepping in. But they showed out. We all know how good Krios is. We all seen Rule play with them in RLCS. So for them to actually even get the first round dub was huge over Team Got Found, which is a made up meme team in 100x that their whole goal is to take down Team Not Found. And they were unsuccessful this time, so that was really cool to see. Now this is ATS strictly speaking, so I'm gonna go down the list here. Shout out to Evo Summit and the whole Evo org, Seth Palm, you the GOAT. But like seeing you guys perform the way you did, Summit last night coming through, getting into here, basically coming back. They were down by 2 goals against Whiffer Wet Jets in the last 30 seconds in Game 5 and somehow made it. So shout out to them. Stargazers, I believe that's Ionic's team, the only orgless team to make it this far. They came in here, upset a lot of teams. Ionic literally had to play all her past teammates in order to break it here or to make it here. So shout out to Ionic. And then you got Star Nation Blackout. Don't know too much about them, but they did have a really good, few performances yesterday to make it here. Unfortunately, they got first rounded today by a very formidable Lag Gaming or Life's a Game. So just so much competition, so much new faces, new teams, new orgs popping up. A lot of like this was one of the better events I think we've thrown in a long time, and we've thrown some great events. Don't get me wrong. Champions Cup was phenomenal, but this Legends Cup just felt special. It felt different. There was a lot of competition, a lot of teams, a lot of orgs getting involved, really invested, and of course, shout out to Team Silence, Eclectic, and everybody that does everything over there. This event wouldn't be possible without them. So many people deserve flowers this event, and I want to make sure everyone gets their praise. Along with you, Sporty, people don't understand what you actually do and why you are Sporty Goat. And I hope one day they all understand how great you are, because you do so much, not just on the mic, but behind the mic as well. And like you're literally my right hand man, and I can't do this without you. So shout out to you. And then Anthony, I don't know you so much, but shout out to you for being an awesome caster as well and being here with Sporty. I know Tommy Buckets talks very highly of you over there in RLSS, and I know you're gonna do really good things in the Rocket League community as long as you continue doing what you're doing, and hopefully you're doing some stuff with RLSS this weekend as they got Proving Grounds. So we might see some of these teams play over there this weekend too. I'm not really too sure what's going on, but that's another event. We love RLSS. We love Tommy Buckets. Shout out to all the casters that helped out today and yesterday, and all the teams that participated. And honestly, I wish I got to see all the teams play today. It really sucks when I can't watch the main event or even help out kind of behind the scenes. I always feel like I'm just missing out. Like I don't know, it bums me out, but in the end, I know it's always in good hands because Sporty Goat's here and Sporty Goat is GOAT. So appreciate you, man. Just want to let everyone know Sporty Buff is real. Listen, 100X knows that, and now Incorrect knows that. They even got a W today on the main show on the main stage. So honestly, shout out to everyone that keeps this scene alive and does what they do, because I love it, bro. I love it. I honestly love what we do in the competition, and we're only getting started, as I always say. So I'm here for the next one and for the long haul. So thank you, everybody.
And there you go. And thank you, 50, as well, for helping run another successful event. AnthonyMalum, I know you've been sitting there quietly. I always give my co-caster those closing words. Is there anything you want to say?
Oh, just a big thanks for having me. Of course, I thank you to Thrifty for the nice words, the great interviews, and the great games tonight. And yeah, I will be a part of the RLSS stuff. So excited to see that. Excited to see a lot of the same teams run back and hopefully make it a great weekend of Rocket League, continuing off a great couple of days.
And if you guys don't know AnthonyMalum, again, another top-tier Smite caster. So if you guys play Smite, this is the guy you should be looking for. Here, AnthonyMalum. So again, go show support to him if you guys are smart. If you guys also play Smite. But from me, AnthonyMalum, 50 ATS. Congratulations to 100X Free AM. What a match it has been here tonight. Again, a incredible event. Thank you all so much for joining the Legends Cup 2. Shoutouts to our sponsor in Team Silence. But that is it for us here. Thank you so much for joining the Ascend Tournament Series Legends Cup 2, sponsored by Team Silenced. We thank you so much for joining Ascend. Make sure you all, again, ascend new heights, rise beyond limits. We'll see you all again when ATS is back.